Hello, guys, and welcome to the Wild Rift India circuit. Today, we have a very exciting match in front of your hands. But before we even get there, let me introduce you to one of our lovely casters. Hell's Devil will be joining this cast today between AOT and Band of the Hawk. And even before we introduce the teams, I just want to quickly say, hey, Hell, what's up? Thanks a lot for doing this. And how are you doing?
Hey man, I'm doing great. When you talked about this tournament, I checked it out. It just looks so amazing, really. I'm so happy that there's a community-run tournament in India with just such an amazing production and everything. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to see the teams play. I'm just very excited to be here.
Absolutely, and it's an absolute pleasure and a privilege to have you on board. A lot of our fans in chat are already spamming Hell's Devil in chat, and I think this is just like the perfect amalgamation to have an awesome match and have you along with us before this match starts, right? So just so you guys know, just a quick recap: this is a match between Team AOT versus Team Band of the Hawk. Both of these teams are currently unbeaten in the World of India circuit, and today the winner will end up coming first place in the league, and they will have some additional points heading into the playoff stage. So we are ready with picks and bans, with draft as well. We are going to go live. I think the call will be given to go live in just a few seconds. So you know what? You guys don't have to wait any much longer. And in between game 1 and 2, we're going to have a very quick Q&A with Hells where you as chat can ask him a few questions. But hey, you know what? Let's get into it, Hells. The draft has started. And let's talk a bit more about 2.4, right? Like you are seeing a lot of Master Yi's. And what do you think of the current patch right now?
Oh, I mean, man, the changes are big. The new items, the buffs, the nerfs. I mean, are we gonna see a Master Yi today? That's the real question. I mean, everyone wants to see it. The fans, us, everyone really wants to see it, right?
I absolutely agree. And I think if there's one person in this team who'll take it, it's definitely Mr. Crowley. He is spamming Master Yi a lot, and I think it's probably going to be him who does it. But the bans have been decided: Fiora, Corki, Ziggs, I think Galio. So standard bans coming out. And I think on the blue side, we obviously have Band of the Hawk, and they've opted for a Lulu first pick. So perhaps, what do you think has been left open that you think is really OP right now? Because I do see an Akali and a few other champions that have not yet been banned.
So obviously we see Akali and Katarina open, which are, the absolute monsters of solo queue. However, this is team queue, so you don't have to ban them out. But the thing is, Galio got banned as well, which is the ultimate counter to these champions. So I'm still expecting one side, at least one side, to pick one of these champions. And Katarina might not be the best anymore because she did get a pretty heavy nerf. But Akali is definitely still an absolute powerhouse, and I definitely expect at least one team to pick her up at least.
Definitely. I feel like both of these players, both of these teams do want to pick their Akalis, but it does look like they're opting for very teamfight oriented champions, right? You see the Varus and the Leona. This is telling you like they really just want to play these teamfights out, and these compositions now are shaping up. You see a Jarvan as well. Renekton blind pick seems to be quite the safe pick in the battle lane, right? Hells, considering Fiora has been banned as well.
So right now, I really like how both teams are drafting, really, because as we said,
Hmm.
Akali is the real champion to be scared of right now, but they're really counter picking it already pretty well because Akali is not the best against champions like Varus, Leona, Ari, who can just CC her down. So you really cannot pick Akali into champions like that. Same goes to the other side. Lulu is a really good champion against Akali because she can shield her allies. Zaya with the ultimate, Jarvan, these are just good, solid champions to counter those really meta and super strong solo champions. So I really like the draft from both sides right here. Really team fight oriented, as you mentioned, and yeah,
Yeah.
definitely a good draft from both sides.
Yeah, I mean, we are seeing the Lee Sin picked up from Crowley, so this is one of his most favorite champions, and in general, like it's a very good comfort pick. And I think like what we are seeing, right? Traditionally, these teams are picking champions that they're very comfortable on, and I think like in terms of team fighting, they both look pretty strong. But I have to ask you the typical scaling question here. It's like if this game goes to late, do you tend to favor any of these compositions, or do you think any comp here scales a little better once we head into the later stage of the game?
Oh, it's a bit hard. It's really hard to decide,
Hard to see,
honestly.
right?
The side with the Lee Sin and the Renekton is definitely the team that's not going to scale as well into the late game because they both have two early game champions. Actually, three. Ari, Lee Sin, and Renekton are very good in the early game. I'm not saying they're bad in the late game, but definitely the blue side has a more solid late game because they have the Orianna, which is hyper carry potential, the Garen, which is going to be an ultimate tank. They just have really good late game champions.
Absolutely. So it's really going to be on the team AOT to really make sure that they get some, aggression in the early game. And you can see already level ones seem to be coming out. Standard picks. There's something that Band of the Hawk does a lot is they always send their Baroneer in the mid lane before just to push out the wave. I'm not sure why this is being done, but it's a regular strat. And this time I think AOT knows it because they're waiting and they sort
Oh,
of
yeah.
they read them like a book and blow a flash from the Garen. So interesting start, right? Like the Garen blowing his flash in level 1.
They knew that this was going to happen. You can tell from the red side team that they knew that it was going to happen. They were literally waiting in that bush to hit that Garen. This was really, really smart because, oh, he's going for the kill.
Yeah, he has to flash again. He gets another. Oh, beautiful Sonic Wake and gets a kill. Level 7, Mr. Crowley, spamming that on Lee Sin, gets first blood for Team AOT, and great aggression coming out right there from AOT, like getting the flash onto the Garen and again onto the Orianna and getting the kill for himself.
This is exactly what I want to see from Lee Sin. This is exactly what I want to see from Lee Sin. Team AOT beautifully playing the game, the roaming game. Like they, as you said, they're reading the other team like a book. They're reading BOH like an absolute book. They know when to gank. They know when to wait in the bushes. They seem to really have done their homework about the team.
Absolutely, and this is what we expect to see from two of the best teams, like being prepared, knowing what the other's gonna do. And at this point, you can see the RPG Sun is trying to get some kills back for himself. They do want to go after the Leon. Leon survives 1 HP, the flash and flag and drag, but the flag does hit, gets the kill onto that. And here comes Kai'Sa as well. Crowley could be in trouble, right? Elysian has to back away at this point, but they do get a kill back. The support dies, so BOH aren't gonna wait around anymore. Hells, they look like they're gonna get a kill for themselves as well.
Oh, both teams. Just the amount of confidence that both teams have. I love it. They're both just super confident in what they do. We're seeing invades, super aggressive plays. No one is playing the safe game here. You can tell, like, look at the Jarvan. He's already looking for another fight. They're just constantly looking for fights. And you can see it again here.
Yeah, no flash on the Garen right here, and they do want to go ahead. Unfortunately, Meruem will survive the sliver of HP. No, he does not, but he does get a 1 for 110. Now Swifty could be in trouble. Does he have his third ability to run away? It doesn't look like he does end up stunning, but BOH get the numbers advantage, get a couple of kills for themselves. AOT were aggressive here, but it does look like BOH are also falling back well, and this early game is so strong. I completely agree with you, right? Hell, they're both just rotating, making sure none of them get a side lane advantage, and we're off to a great start in this game. I have to say, it's been something like we have not seen in the circuit so far. Both teams playing massively aggressively early game.
I want to say something that some viewers may not have seen. BOH is actually playing the game way better right now because, as you can see, they have a gold advantage. They have like a 700 gold advantage, and that's not only because they have one extra card. It's also because they've been farming a bit better. Because as you can see here, the Orianna is gonna get even more farm. The Garen, just look at the waves. The red minions are all piled up, and the blue side minions are not piled up. This means that the blue side is going to get a lot of gold. And as you can see, it's going up 1.4k, 1.5k. They're getting a massive advantage because of their wave management. So not only the aggressive plays, which are very nice, but also the wave management from Team BOH are really, really good in this game.
Absolutely, they have amassed themselves a 1,500 goal lead, like you said, from these waves. So BOH are coming out early in a kind of composition that ends up scaling better as it goes into late game. So AOT, while they're being aggressive, I feel BOH are definitely responding to that aggression, having 3 kills for themselves. And now I think the Renekton's in a bit of a shady spot, isn't he, Hells? Because he is behind in goal, and it'll probably come to a point where the Renekton's going to have a hard time to kill this Garen, who's already reaching that Sunfire cape on his first item. And what do you think is going to happen, Hells, once we enter the dragon fights? And oh, never mind, and we might see another gank. Oh, they are going to go after the Garen right here, but I don't think they have enough damage to kill. The flash does come here, the ultimate as well. They are able to get a kill. So Crowley being extremely aggressive. What do you think of that kill, Hell? Do you think it's worth? Because they might end up losing Dragon because of it.
They had to do that. I really want to say they really had to do that, because that Garen was almost 2 levels ahead. And even if they lose a Dragon for it, even if they lose a Dragon for it, they really had to do that. Because if that Garen would have been able to just farm easily, but now they're making a mistake.
Oh my lord.
Going in.
Yeah, fighting 3v4 right here, and they end up dying in the process. Double kill goes over to RPG-san right here, and I think this is a tad bit too aggressive on the side of AOT. Yes, Renekton is looking to take the Rift Herald, but here you can see BOH simply come back again, and I completely agree with you. Like, I think this is a tad bit too aggressive. They didn't have to do it, and this just gives a couple more kills, so probably a mistake on AOT's side to even contest the Dragon. But it does look like they should be able to get the Herald in the process, and they should look to make a clean escape. Oh, here comes Garen. He does have his ultimate actually. He could use it, but is opting not to. I'm not sure if he was not in range right here, but net, I would still say BOH do have some control. The Mountain Take going over helps out the Garen and the J4, right? The 2 frontline tanks of BOH.
BOH is really perfectly playing this game right now, macro-wise. They saw that the Lee Sin was in the Baron lane. They went for the Dragon. Perfect call. You know, if there was no contest, free Dragon. If they contested, they would have gotten the kills, and they did. What AOT should have done instead is get the kill on the Garen, either push the turret or get the Rift Herald. You know, sometimes you just have to take that L, because as you can see, they're behind quite a lot of gold. So you really don't want to be looking for fights right now. And here it's costing them a turret.
Yeah, Orianna is using a shockwave, and they are looking to get the turret, so they might just be looking to take the first turret for a kill. Garen being the sacrificial lamb right here. I do feel though that was not required, and oh my lord, look at this. AOT are not stopping on the regression at all. The Renekton does have his stun in a few seconds. Meanwhile, Herald is also using the bot lane. So you could see a 2-way onslaught coming out from AOT right here. The charm barely misses. Leona could die in the process. Ari's ult is there as well, but Orianna walk looking super strong right here. Gets himself a double kill right here, but could he survive is the question you have to ask. No, he does not. The Renekton gets the kill onto the Ari as well, but they do not get the first tower yet. So yes, AOT get a few kills for themselves, but they are not able to secure a tower yet, and still looks like a very close game right here. Else I'm not really sure who came out on top. Maybe you can help me a bit more about, do you think this trade was worth more for BOH, or was it worth for AOT? I think Hells, we lost your audio for a second. Can you just check? Oh, I think there is some mic. You wanna rejoin the lobby once and see it? Alright guys, Hells is right here, just getting his mic fixed. Will not take a lot of time. Meanwhile, we are in a bit of a lull state in the game right here, as you can see, because 5,000, 21,000 BOH, make no mistake, they are ahead in this game in a composition that ends up scaling very, very well for them. And yes, AOT are playing aggressive, and they are making picks happen for their team, which is very, very good. But BOH are still the one taking advantage. First Dragon also going over to them. You are seeing the scaling happening. The Jarvan, the Orianna getting a lot of kills for themselves. They are ahead of their enemy counterparts, and this is looking like an upwards battle for AOT, because if they do not stop this goal lead from propelling even further, then AOT would be in a world of trouble, and they are looking to get to the G4 right here. The stun does land, the CC chain happens. Oh, you are back again, and while you are back, Hells, we are seeing double flashes being done to kill the J4, and they get the 4-kill shutdown, and it goes over to the Varus. A much needed reprieve, wouldn't you say, for AOT, because they were struggling in this game.
Oh yeah, that was really, really good. They caught out those enemies. They're taking the mid lane tower. Really, really good from AOT. They're really playing our team, and it looks like we have a DC over here. It's so unfortunate. And
oh my lord, this is quite unfortunate, and Orianna dies in the process. Mid lane goes down. Meanwhile, bot lane tower also goes down. They really want to dive this guy. I don't think it's a great idea. Never mind, they still get a tower, and suddenly we were talking about how AOT is behind 4,000 gold. In just a matter of a minute, they're able to get the shutdown. Never mind, another fight's happening. These guys don't stop fighting. I can't even cuss, but they're able to get the Garen as well. Swifty gets a brilliant kill onto the Garen right here. Again, AOT are coming back in this game after being 4,000 gold behind. You would worry that, okay, this is not going well in favor of them, but they are able to get the shutdowns, get the mid lane tower, and suddenly it looks like AOT are back in the game.
So what we saw there is AOT really playing their team composition to their win conditions. So they have champions like Renekton, Varus, Ahri, Leona, Lee Sin. All 5 of these champions are champions that are really good at picking one enemy out, right? Like they can stun an enemy, knock them back. They're just really good single target champions. So when you're in situations like 5 versus 1, 5 versus 2, you can really easily get those kills. And that's exactly what they did. They killed them one by one. They got 2 towers. They got back with they came back with the gold. And right now they have a lot of items. They can contest this dragon fight right now.
Absolutely. There is teleport on the Renekton as well. He can choose to teleport onto the team fight. He is the only person in AOT who does not have his ultimate yet. Meanwhile, also Lulu does not have her ultimate as well as J4. So Vando the Hawk probably waiting for co-op before the main ultimates are up to really initiate this fight. But what this allows them, hell, is that AOT are able to get the tower and pressure onto that, right? So it's going to be really interesting to see how this battle comes out. And you can see already Garen reduced to half HP. A 2-1 Orion ultimate. The Locker's Iron Shard Shield also being used. And again, they are able to get the main carry. Varus is dead in the process. Band of the Hawk playing S5, killing S5, getting a kill. And I think they might be able to get the dragon as well, unless Crowley is looking to secure the shield. And we have known this guy is able to secure objectives like no other person right here. And is also looking to use his ultimate as well. We are seeing another fight happen. Noxy could be in trouble. I think this is a little bit scattered fight coming out from AOT right here. They are able to get some kills as well. Ahri has to flash away in the process. Renekton will also run away. This is not looking good for AOT. They did not fight as a 5-man unit, and Hawk are super good at these dragon fights because they are able to get the dragon and again seize control back into the game. Well played there by BOH.
So I really like what AOT tried there, because they tried to apply pressure on the top side of the map and on the bot side of the map because Renekton had to teleport, but they were too late. They fought 3 versus 5, which cost them the Varus, which is fine if they can just get a few turrets. But then they went in 1 by 1 again, which is really not good. But Team BOH sticking together as a true team, getting those kills as a team, and like this is how you want to play the game right now. It's good to have pressure on the top side and the bot side, but it's not good to take fights 3 versus 5. And BOH is really punishing AOT for trying to go for those plays right there.
Absolutely. Like, just when you think the game is getting on one side, AOT comes back. When you think AOT is in an advantage, BOH comes back. This is what we wanted to see, right, from 2 unbeaten teams, right? A very, very close game where it could literally go to the end. But for me, Hells, like, now that we are in this state, right, 2 dragons going over to AOT. Oh, never mind. Lee Sin could be gets a catch onto the Lulu right here. Will not manage to kill him instead. Here comes Ivy Foxy as well. I don't know if this is the right fight for them. They should look to disengage right here. And Zaya is after the Renekton. The Crocodile has to run away right here from the Zaya, and the 2-man ultimate as well, but it's mostly disengage. Never mind, it's used for engage as well. Zaya has to use her ultimate as well. The kick onto Lee Sin makes him push on the other side as well. Leona could be in trouble. Garen uses ultimate. Judgment, there you go. Dies. Flash has to be used by Varus as well. And again, the team fight. Lee Sin was looking to engage onto the Lulu, did not work out, and again Blizzard will have to also use the ultimate to run away, and AOT are playing defensive right now. It does look like hell that BOH seem to are getting control of the game right here.
It really seems like BOH knows how to win this game, because we saw earlier when they kind of threw, which they are doing right now.
I mean, like you said, like the one team gets an advantage, the other team ends up throwing it in some state. Now they do get 2 kills back in the process, which is a bit of a reprieve for them as well. And again, I feel like this is what we're seeing, right? Again, some of the best teams in SE or EU, right? They tend to play a little bit cleaner, wouldn't you say? Because you have casted in the Origin series as well, right? Hells, like, what can you tell me about these 2 teams and what they are doing well versus what they could also do better?
I mean, one thing that I really like, especially about Team BOH, they know their win conditions. So they made a mistake earlier on, which cost them 4,000 gold and 2 mid lane turrets, which was not sticking together and allowing the enemy team composition to pick out the single kills. But they immediately realized the mistake. They immediately realized it, and from that point on, they have always been together as a team during the objectives, during team fights, during turret pushes. They really they really playing well right now. They learned from their mistake and are playing well. While Team AOT is also playing quite well. They're trying some good things, but it's not really working out. Their timing together is not the most amazing in this game right now. You can see that Team BOH is actually starting the Baron right here, while the enemy team is in the base.
Yeah, Lee Sin is there, but Lee Sin will be looking to get stopped. The silence is being used. Oh, the Lee Sin is too late. The Baron does get secured by BOH right here. Brilliant job by Meruem as well, and a great call. Great macro call coming out from BOH because they're able to get the Baron without even much of a contest from Lee Sin. And now they have to play disengage right here. The J4 ulti lands on 2 people as well. He will die in the process. They get 1 for 0. Oh, the Oran ultimate as well. Oh, Varus could be in trouble. Gets judgmented on his face right here and banned off the Hawk. Making game 1 statement game for them as well. They are here to prove that these gods can be broken and blade right here, and they get the kill. And this looks like this is definitely gonna be BH's favor, right? Well,
I mean, look at Garen. Just look at Garen. He has been the frontline during the whole fight, and he's at 100% HP. Something about that tells me that this game is over right now. Garen, one of the most tanky champions in the game, he was able to completely tank up all the damage, just going in deep into the enemy, not taking any damage. And like, what can they do? What can they do? The only way the team AOT can actually still win the game is if they catch out one target.
it's not gonna happen. Lee Sin goes in and dies instantly. Like you said, this Garen just does not die, hell, because he he does die right here, but still have his Guardian Angel, so he's like, jokes on you, I'm still alive. But at this point, it does look like game one is gonna go in favor. The refuse to surrender vote comes out, because at this point, with the kind of goal lead that they have, 8,000 goal lead, Garen scaling, mid lane inhibitor going down. Like you said, hell, this Garen is extremely tanky. The early game that he got for himself, where he's able to secure a few kills, get ahead in gold, has made him tanky enough to be the frontline. And I completely agree with you when you said, like AOT are taking some of these fights that they should not have taken, and this is ultimately that has costed them the game. And it does look like, we might be in for another fight whatsoever, but with the third dragon going 2 nips down, how often do comebacks really happen from this point, hell?
I mean, 2 inhibs are down, and like when the mid lane inhib is down, I like to say that there is not even an inhib down. I feel like the mid lane inhib doesn't really matter because you're always in the mid lane anyways. But the side lane inhibs, that's where the real pain comes in. And if the Garen actually decides to split push and be really annoying, it can really put a lot of pressure onto the AOT team. And a comeback. Nah, I don't see a comeback happening right now, especially because Team AOT doesn't really have a comp for it. But here you can see they can get kills if they catch out an enemy. That's the whole power of their composition.
Absolutely, and you can see right here, they get a kill onto Lulu as well, and now Xayah could be in trouble. Xayah should use her ultimate as well, but look at this, Leona's very low in HP as well. They're trying to get up to the J4 as well. Unstoppable is that Garen as he gets a kill onto the Renekton as well, so it's a 2-for-1 at the end of the day. Team fights could happen, but Meram is like the beast boy, the raid boss. Garen in front of him stabs, gets the silence onto the Ahri as well, tries to run away, and Ahri's like, you know what, I don't want any of this Garen right here. Rux just looks to run away right here. Even though they got a pick on a Lulu, they still come out in a 1-for-2, and yeah, you could say that small chance of coming back, but again, 2 inhibs down, like you said, the side inhib going down is looking very different for them. I think the next fight will ultimately be at the Baron or the Elder. It has gotten to that point. I like the fact that AOT have not completely given up as of this point, but when you look at the damage coming out, right? Oh my lord, like the Varus poke is hurting to a bit, and Crowley is looking for that kill onto the Orianna, but I think that's just trying to delay backs at this point. And how do you come back from this? Like, I mean, they're just holding on by a thread, aren't they? Like, they just want to maybe hold on till the Baron comes, try to steal it, maybe a comeback happens, but it does look like Band of the Hawk have scaled, right? Like, they have all their items, Garen's like unkillable. It's looking a bit tough.
So you can definitely see how AOT could have won the game, and that is by catching out this enemy. You saw the Ahri charm on the Lulu, boom, Lulu killed. The Ahri charm on the Jarvan, boom, Jarvan killed. But here you can see it again on the Xayah. This is how they get kills.
They almost get Fox right here on the Xayah, and this is gonna buy some more time for them on this point. But look at the waves. The Orianna splitting on the side, being very smart about this. The waves are hitting the Nexus turrets. The inhibitor teleport being used by the Renekton just to make sure that the third inhib doesn't go down, because that's going to be GG right there as well. They buy some time, they're holding off as much as they can, but at what point Band of the Hawk are finally rotating as 5 to the last inhibitor, getting the last, the final nail in the coffin. I usually call the third inhibitor, but at this point Band of the Hawk, like, I mean, AOT have to fight this. They have no option. Leona goes in at this point. Leona will look to back away, and the stun does land onto Leona as well. The flash also the kick being used. It's not to any effect, and Leona will die. J4 RPG Sun goes in for the kill. He will die in the process. The Eye of Blue Charm, like you said, the Garen, oh my lord, uses second ability, uses that tenacity to run away, and it's so good for him at this point. Swifty is trying to do what he can with Renekton, but 3 nips down. AOT, you're fighting valiantly, my friends, but it does look like game 1 Hells is finally going over to Band of the Hawk, and I would say that they're still trying, mind you, and I don't know if they're able to get it or not, but we just need a couple more autos. They just want to get the kills. But what do you think, Hal? The better team definitely won it. Band of the Hawk showed that they definitely had a better team fight and a better grasp of the game in game 1 and how they played.
Ooh, BOH really knew how to play their composition. They did a really good job in this game. And I want to say that AOT actually did some pretty okay fights in the later game, but it was too late. Because even though you saw that they did the Ahri charm, the Varus ultimate, Lee Sin's ultimate all on Garen, he didn't even take like 30% of his HP. So you can see it was too late. They were too late. It was too late for Team AOT that they figured out how to actually play their composition. And that's what ultimately really lost them the game to Team BOH.
Well, there you have it, guys. Game one, a closely fought game, but you would not say that Kothinims were down. Ban of the Hawk playing to their composition to a T. Yes, they did that a few times, and AOT were pushing the envelope a bit in how they were trying to play aggressive. But it was Ban of the Hawk with their calm and composed gameplay, the unkillable Garen, I have to say at this point, and MVP Foxwild with the amount of damage that he done. Game one goes over to Ban of the Hawk. A lot of damage from both the teams, honestly. Like you can see the damage output and there never a lack of damage. It was just like the composition and just how they were able to pull off these picks, right? Because the damage just seems to be even across the board.
I mean, you can definitely tell that both teams, as you said, did a lot of damage, but it's just the team fighting composition won the game. The blue side won the game because they did effective damage. Like the red side, which is Team BOH or Team AOT, Team AOT, they did a lot of poke damage with the Varus, but it didn't really do too much for them because the enemy team had a healing champion. They had Lulu.
Absolutely. And this is it, guys. Game one does go over to Band of the Hawk. We will be back in game two for game two in just a few minutes. But until that point, we have our lovely Health Devil right here on the stream with us. And we are going to open this forum for you to ask some questions. So I'll be reading some of the questions for you in chat. Make sure you ask anything you want to know about Wild Rift or anything regarding gameplay or anything you want to know
You can
about
ask
Wild Rift.
anything, really. I don't
There you
mind.
go.
You can ask anything.
You can ask anything. I will select some questions from chat and I will relay them over to Health Devil right here. So guys, let those questions flow because we have this time to build up before game two starts, and let's make that time to have some conversations with Health Devil. So I actually have one question, Health. What do you think of the teams? Like you've seen such professional teams being played in the Origin series and things like that. What do you think of some of these teams from India? Because arguably, these are two of the best teams. So I would definitely want to know your thoughts on how good they are and as compared to some of the EU teams, and anything that you can share in that matter.
So from what I saw, they're definitely really smart. They're both smart teams. They know what to do. It's just I can't really say how good they actually are because I would have to play against them myself, or I would have to see them play against the EU teams. But I want to say they're really on a high level. Like you can tell when a game is on a high level or on a low level. And in this game, we saw some very aggressive early game plays. We saw really good rotations, really good preparations from both sides. They're on a high level. This is high level gameplay right here.
Well, there you have it, guys. This is it. It honestly feels great as an Indian, so that because as we don't really have a server yet, but we have such passionate fans and gamers who want to play, and the fact that you are saying that these are players that are playing on a great level does bode a lot of positivity and optimism because it just makes us feel good. Once hopefully the game is able to get there. But we have our first question right there. The human Kira boy asks, "Is Hell coming to competitive in Wild Rift?" Well, that's a good question.
No, I am not. I mean, I could like if I just focus on it, but honestly, I really love content creation. I really love content creation. I really love doing casting, analyst job. I really love this kind of stuff more than being a pro player. I don't want to be playing 8 hours a day and things like that. So I would rather watch the competitive than play it myself. So no, I used to be a pro player in another game called Vainglory, but that was my old times, not anymore.
Perfect. I mean, a lot of people asking the same question. So, a very little interesting question. Rahul asks you, Wild Rift or Vainglory? I mean, I know you love Vainglory as well. So, maybe chime in a bit of thoughts about what you love about both these games,
But
because it's definitely something to ask. Yep.
So Wild Rift or Vainglory? But what do you mean Wild Rift or Vainglory? Like, I mean, Vainglory is in my heart. Vainglory is in my heart. It's never gonna leave it. Wild Rift is just a game that I'm playing right now. Vainglory, there is no other game than Vainglory for me. And if there's people in the chat that have played Vainglory for years, they'll feel this one. They'll really feel this one. Vainglory, there is no other game like that game. Really, you can't really compare it, in my opinion, if you've actually played the game for a long time.
That's true. I mean, I think like Vainglory was one of a kind in the way that the tap mechanics worked, right? And a lot of our players, like the mid laner that you saw, the Oriana, he himself is a professional Vainglory player. So he keeps talking about how much he loves Vainglory. It's always going to be in his heart. So I completely get that you're there. I think there's a small camera glitch. I think it should be fine now. Yeah, there we go.
That's the
Yeah.
camera.
Well, one guy is asking Wild Rift India release dates. Guys, I don't think Hell knows that. I don't think anybody knows that at this point. So let's not go there. Hell's Devil, do you know Leroy Wildrift from SEO?
Yeah,
Oh,
he's a streamer. I know him, of course. I watch him. I watch him sometimes.
nice. What do you think of him? Is he's also Baron, right? And I think Hells, you also play Baron himself. Like you also play Baron. Like, what
I
do you
mean,
think
I
of his
play every
skills?
single role.
Ooh,
Yeah.
nice, nice. All right, guys. Any other questions that you guys have? We have a couple of minutes to go. Hells, I'm gonna invite you to the lobby. Meanwhile, I think it's
Oh
already
yeah.
made. So quickly, we're gonna get into game two as well because I mean I can't wait honestly to see what happens as well. And uh, well, Lost and Jungles is asking a very fun question, but I don't think that's relevant for us to ask. Which PC champion would you like to see next in Wild Rift? Elsevier? I don't know if you have played a lot of LoL PC, but is there any champion that you want to see from LoL to come into Wild Rift?
I'm gonna be honest. I haven't really played League of Legends, so I have no idea at all. I have no idea. Well, maybe Nunu, Disco Nunu. That's what I've seen. The troll champion, where you can dance around the disco. The one I think that's the one with the big snowball. It looked really fun how he ganks. So I guess I would say Nunu. That's the champion that I know actually.
Lovely. Yeah, he is coming in September. So you're gonna get to see him played pretty darn soon. Another question is like, apart from yourself, who are some of the other Wild Rift content creators that you like to enjoy watching?
Oh, I mean, there's a lot really. Who? I mean, Excoundrel is one of my favorite YouTubers right now. We have there's just so many. There's so many to talk about. I don't know, man. I don't know what to say. There's so
I'm not gonna
many.
put you in the spot. Don't worry. Like, I agree. Like this, there is a lot of great content creators out there, and I think like we are gonna get into the bans really quickly right here. And again, with how close these teams are, hell, it does look like for game two, right? We might end up having another close one, right? Because AOT definitely showed that they are no slouches, right? They themselves are like there, and it could look like you might see a comeback happen in game two.
Yeah, definitely. Both teams are really, really good. It's just which team is gonna outsmart the other team. And like we saw in the draft, Team BOT picked the better late game team. We saw that clearly. And Team AOT didn't really know how to play around that. So we're gonna have to see these mind games between this team because I really feel like these teams, it's all about mind games, how to play the early game, how to draft, what to do. Because you saw in the early game, they were waiting in that bush. It's really all about the mind game. So I'm really expecting to see some sort of invades, early ganks, things like that. Unexpected things. That's what I want to see from these teams.
Unexpected would be the way to go, and I think these guys are in the lobby. We'll be quickly starting bans, guys. We'll let you guys know what's going to happen, but let us know in chat if you think AOT is going to win or do you think BOH is going to get a clean sweep 2-0. Meanwhile, there are a few more questions coming on to you, and Utkarsh Sharma asks, hey, hell, do you think he will get picked in competitive after the buffs? Because you have moved him to S plus tier, and you moved out of the E tier. Sorry, there used to be a master E tier that you used to have. Now you moved out of that, and he is so strong. So do you actually foresee Master Yi getting picked in competitive because of how strong he is currently?
So if Master Yi gets picked, the whole composition has to be played around him because Master Yi is a hyper carry. He's basically like Katarina but in the jungle. He is the champion that is gonna do all the damage. So when Master Yi gets picked, I'm kind of expecting to see 100% Lulu. It has to be picked with Lulu and some other champions that can defend him because he's really weak in the early game. He's really, really weak in the early game, and he can really get demolished in his jungle. One second, let me just swap. Yeah, and he's not the type of champion to be picked in competitive. But if he gets picked, the whole composition has to be revolved around Master Yi.
That's true. I mean, you need to have, and all like I think it's doable, but maybe some of these really carry type of junglers, right, might be the ones to pull it off, right? The ones who are not afraid to have the team run around them. So definitely gonna be great right here. And guys, we are just gonna move into the lobby screen right here. Just a few seconds. The bans are coming out. It does seem like Galio, Corki, Lulu, Fiora are getting banned. So the somewhat same bans except for the Lulu right here. That was I think that I don't know if there's a new ban or not, but we are gonna get started with the game really shortly, guys. So stay tuned. Let us know who you think is gonna win. Let's just move to the lobby screen until, and you can see Ziggs being banned out as well. What do you feel of the mid lane hell now that I have you again? Like because you're seeing like now again assassins seem to be strong, right? For some reasons, Akalis and Fizz mid and Zed, right? Champions like that seem to be coming back in solo queue. Do you feel like a champion like Ziggs, who once was a pillar of the mid lane, right? Control me, doesn't really die. Do you feel like the mid lane meta is changing somewhat in the current patch because of the nerfs and buffs that some champions have gotten?
Well, besides the change, it's like there is a whole different meta when you play competitive and when you play solo queue. So Ziggs is absolutely completely broken in competitive just because of the amount of damage that he can dash out. And with a good team that knows how to play around Ziggs, he is literally the most broken champion. Same goes for Gragas, for example, right? And same goes for Lulu. These are the type of champions that are completely broken if you know that your team knows how to play around you. And in solo queue, we definitely see those assassins, Zed, Akali, Katarina, but these are not going to be as good in competitive. As you can see right here, they're not even getting banned out. Akali is, however, Akali is just a completely broken champion, but we're seeing them draft around these things. Like, these teams are really smart. They know what they're doing. They're leaving these picks out. They're kind of baiting the enemy to pick it, right? Like, hey, Akali's free, let's first pick it, and then boom, they just counter pick it with all these types of champions that are really good against the Akali.
Absolutely. I think Akali this time definitely does look like it could be picked right here. Hey guys, we are ready to get started with game 2 health. So let's get this going. We are heading into game 2 in just a second. The bans just for you guys. Galio, Corki, Lulu, Fiora, Ziggs and Brom. And again, you know, this time the sides have changed. It is AOT who get first pick for themselves in this game 1. In game 2, surprisingly enough, BOH opted for red side in game 1. So they definitely want to play this kind of pick right here, and you can see the bans are happening. And let's see, you know, Hells, let's wait a few seconds to see what gets happened. But I feel like if BOH drafts the same late game composition and, you know, with how they play, then this could be in the game. This game could be in their bag, and it's really up to AOT. I feel for them to like change things around. Like, what are your thoughts on what AOT need to do to beat BOH? Because, you know, they were close to doing it in game 1.
I mean, they could have definitely beaten them in game 1. They just really have to know how to play around their composition. So it's like one mistake that's gonna cost you the game, really. And they kind of screwed up in the early game with that dragon and then the second dragon where they were trying to split push. They just really have to know how to play around the composition. You can see, as I said, the Gragas boom first pick. This champion is absolutely broken in competitive, and he already got picked up. And they're also picking the Nami up. They're already picking up a very strong lineup.
Absolutely, right. This is definitely looking very interesting right here. The Gragas can be played jungle, but it's mostly going to be Battleline in this team because Swifty is very comfortable on a champion. Now, Garen is still up if they just want to match the tank with tank at this point. But again, Varys again, so they again seem to have a lot of CC on their side. And they still have, now they, instead of Renekton health, it looks like they have a Gragas who's a bit more frontline, a bit more tanky. And this time, Band of the Hawk are going for the Renekton and the Pantheon. Very different from the game 1 composition. Like, walk me through the draft right here. What do you think of these picks?
So it kind of switched around now, right? It kind of switched around. Now, the red side has the type of champions to pick out a champion, right? Pick out as in catch a champion. Renekton with his stun, he can really easily catch out a champion. We have Janna with the second ability to slow a champion, catch them out. We have Pantheon, obviously, with the second ability. They have champions to catch out the enemy. So now they switched around the roles, and the blue side has a better late game team right now. They literally switched their composition. So it's going to be really interesting to see how both sides are going to be playing around the compositions. Yeah, and we see the Ahri as well. This finishes off the comp. The catching out composition with the charm.
Will he go for the Ahri? Yeah, or because in the mid lane you have a Lucian and wow, like so they just like had a role reversal in game 2, right? And Crowley picking J4 is especially funny for me, Hells, because this guy, right, is like the typical assassin jungler, wants to play Lee Sin, Kha'Zix, Rengar. Him picking J4 means that, you know, he's playing to win really hard because it's a stronger pick in competitive. So it's quite interesting to see that the dynamic has changed, right? And again, if I ask you the question, like you said already, right, blue team seems to be stronger, but I guess it comes down to gameplay. And red side are no slouches, right? Pantheon stun, Renekton stun, Ahri charm, a lot of point and click CC of sorts, I would say, on the side of BOH.
I mean, the catching out composition is going to win early game and is going to be able to steamroll the enemy if played correctly. But as we saw in the late game, if the game doesn't really go on either side and it gets to the late game, then the sustained damage team definitely wins.
So there you have it, sustained damage. At this point, game 2 has started. Remember, guys, you guys are watching the Wild Rift India circuit brought to you by TGT Esports, NotiKINGz, and Esports Hub. We are in game 2 of an insane league stage between BOH and AOT. The score is 1-0 in favor of BOH right here, and I'm looking forward to seeing how this game pans out because this is a must-win game for AOT. This is the closest that they have been to losing a series right here, right? So it's going to be quite interesting. And Hells, we're seeing a very interesting level 1 sort of a trade happen, and Ahri starts level 1 charm just to make sure she gets some picks.
Well, I like the idea behind it. They're already kind of in the mindset of their composition, which is catching out an enemy, right? All 5 of them were in the mid lane. They went for the sweeper to take away any vision there was. But unfortunately, they weren't able to catch out a single enemy. If they were able to hit a single enemy, free first blood. But unfortunately, they weren't able to. You can see it's already getting punished, actually. The Gragas is pushing out that wave, which is going to cost the Renekton around 2 minions, which you may not think is a lot, but it's going to be the difference between level 1 and level 2 in the top side of the map. So definitely not a great start for BOH.
Yeah, a little bit of a difficult start coming out for BOH right here, but Lucian versus Ari, like I feel like with the double AD carry composition, right, they definitely have a lot of damage. And how does Lucian fare into an Ari in the mid game? Like I would assume that she would like the Lucian would have an advantage, or do you think the Ari has outplay potential in that lane?
So the thing about Ari is she's very fast at pushing out waves with her abilities, and then she rotates and gets kills. That's kind of the point of Ari, right? Where you help your jungler in the early game. We have a little bit of action right there. Oh!
Oh my god, the Kai'Sa second ability managed to get first blood. Foxwild in his dying breath gets first blood for himself. Meanwhile, in the Baron lane, Swifty gets a solo kill onto the Renekton Meruem. Swifty showing why he is one of the best laners in the country right here. So a lot of interesting fights happening right here. First blood going over to the Kai'Sa with a beautiful second ability, and now the kills do go back on the side of AOT. So a good start from AOT still, because they are the ones who get a couple of kills for themselves, and the Gragas getting a solo kill, that's gonna feel really good for the Gragas, because now he can get tankier in this Renekton matchup, and definitely something we don't expect to see, right? A Gragas just 1v1ing a Renekton in the early game.
So that could have been the reason that he won. Could have been that early game where I talked about the Renekton losing 2 minions, because when they were fighting, I was paying attention to the levels. Gragas was a level ahead, which could have meant the winning fight for him, right? He had an ignite and he was a level ahead, so he got that advantage on the Baron lane. But I just want to point out, the Kai'Sa snipe was so beautiful.
Yeah, and you can see it again. The Kai'Sa gets another kill. I feel the Nami could have backed out at it, but look at the aggression coming out else. AOT are going what they did in game 1, right? They're just being aggressive. A beautiful mid lane roam from Blizzard completely demolishes the bot lane, and that's the second time the Kai'Sa has to go back and die. And I feel like the early game is going extremely well for AOT. It looks like they got serious, and it does look like Watt might be disconnected for a few seconds when he does go back. But a lot of focus in the bot lane coming out. Hells, what do you think? Because it's definitely working out in favor of AOT. 2 ganks by the J4 in the bot lane. They get themselves a couple of kills, and looking really good for them.
I really want to say that AOT, up until this point, they've played the game way better. But BOH has been really lucky to have this Kai'Sa, I will fox you, in their ADC. Like, he got those 2 kills. So it was so close for him, like that first kill with the snipe and the second kill barely getting it on the Nami, because he got killed, he got ganked by the Lucian, but he still managed to get something out of it. So instead of completely being steamrolled, they're only 1000 gold behind, and it's all because of the Kai'Sa, because the Kai'Sa has 3000 gold, so that's kind of their hope right now, to get that Kai'Sa fed in the game right now.
Absolutely, and if you look at the goal lead, right, the Kai'Sa is actually ahead of the Varus, because the Varus was not the recipient of either of those kills. So, net, Band of the Hawk still surviving the early game, but AOT definitely getting a few kills for themselves. And you can see J4 looking for gank number 3. This does not stop. The onslaught continues, and this time the Kai'Sa does use her ultimate, gets another kill. This guy is a beast in the face of adversity. Kai'Sa keeps getting kills, makes herself relevant, but the focus on the bot lane looking great for AOT as well, because they're able to get a lot of kills. And because the Kai'Sa is dead, this is straight up go rush the dragon. The Gragas also rotates before the Renekton does. This is not looking. Oh, never mind. Pantheon does use his ultimate as well. A tad bit too late. Who could be in trouble? Using the stun onto the Blizzard. The Blizzard will survive, gets the kill, and AOT looking good. The charm lands with the Gragas. Not the champion you want the charm to land on, and AOT are looking very good in the early game. Granted, Foxwild doing his absolute best, Hells, but getting a kill after dying so many times. But it does look like AOT definitely have the momentum right in their hands, because they're able to get the kills and the dragon for themselves.
Ooh, AOT is doing a really good job in this game. Contrary to the last game, they're just playing it perfectly macro-wise.
Yeah, and look at this flash eel again, and this time he could be in trouble. Kai'Sa dies for the 4th time in this game, and this is AOT playing the way that they want to play, their aggression. This is a style that they love to play. Now they are finally back into their style of play, and Band of the Hawk are now in the back foot in this game, because in game 1 they were ahead, but in game 2 they are the ones with a 2.5, 3,500 goal lead. And Hells, how much of this goal lead is important? Do you think it's still not significant yet? Because it does look like, the Lucian has 2 kills, the Gragas has 3 kills. It's looking good for AOT.
Oh, it is very significant, very, very, very significant, and the main reason for that is because Team BOH has that early game composition to catch out an enemy, as we talked about in the draft. They should have been ahead right now. They should have been the team to get those kills. They should have been the team to get those ganks. They have a really good, strong early game composition. But Team AOT is 2,000 gold ahead, and they're just this is really big for them because if they can keep this up until the late game, they're gonna be an unbeatable team composition with that
Yeah.
Gragas, with all the other champions. They're just so strong in the late game.
They are opting for a Herald take. Do you feel like BOH should take this, considering that they are behind in the game and now everyone on the side of AOT is there just waiting to get them?
Oh, this is a bit risky. This is not a good call. It's a 4 versus 4 situation, and the only champion that is strong in their team, which is Kaisa, is not there.
Yeah, and look at this, right? They get the stun as well. Yes, BOH is able to get the Herald, but they lose the Janna in the process. Now, if they only lose the Janna, it could be fine, but no, they do not. Swifty sadly gets ignited last minute by the Renekton right here, so it's still a 3 for 2 at the end of the day, and they get the Herald, so somehow, magically, I would say that's still maybe a little bit worth it for AOT or for BOH, you would say, because they get the Herald for themselves.
Somehow, indeed, as you say, somehow it is worth it. That should not have gone that way. They got off really lucky right there. Team AOT could have completely smashed them there, but Team BOH actually did a really good job to single out enemies with their composition, and they were able to get a few kills and the Pantheon secured the Rift Herald. So very well played right there by Team BOH.
Absolutely, and you can see the goal lead, right? It's around 3,000 goal lead. The first tower does go over to AOT right here, and the tanks of AOT, right? Like the Gragas and the J4 looking extremely beefy at this point. So the front line is going to be hard for BUS to go, kill at this point, and AOT looking pretty good in this game. But again, the bubble lands with Nami, and this could be BOH being in trouble, but the exhaust being used by Foxwell makes him survive right there. And at this point, I think the next rotation, what do you think AOT need to do? Because the top lane tower is gone, there is no objective on the map. Where should they be going right now, in your opinion?
Well, AOT should just relax, farm up until the next dragon and look for a fight. That's what they should do. They got the first tower as well. They're doing really good right here. They shouldn't risk anything. They should just keep going, because the further we get into the late game, the stronger they get. Now, Team BOH on contrary to that, they really need to make use of that Rift Herald. So we have Infernal Dragon coming next, and somehow, some way, they have to make use of the Rift Herald to apply a lot of pressure on some side of the map and be able to somehow secure that dragon, because it's a really necessary dragon. If they do not get that dragon, they're going to be falling behind even further.
Oh, we see a fight happening in the top lane. Swifty and Merwin both using their ultimates, and Swifty could be in trouble. Oh, he does not use his dash. Oh, he does use dash to survive. I do not know how that happened, but he gets that survivability. Swifty, how do you manage to survive these team fights over and over again? They get the kill onto the Baron laner. The Renekton ultimate is also down for themselves, and oh, this could be in trouble. Right, Pantheon does jump onto the Lucian, but they do survive, and with Infernal Drake spawning, this death could not have come at a worse time. But Swifty, with that flash, almost outplaying, wasn't he?
Oh no, come on. Why did the Gragas not die? Why did the Gragas not die there? They did it perfectly there, but we have another fight right here.
Yeah, we do have another fight right here, and Kaisa could be in trouble. Gets used by the Varus ultimate. Foxwile dies in the process, and again, the Janna dies as well. This is AOT's dragon fight to win right here. Game 1 may have gotten them a little bit too serious. The dash does not land. Volk has no mana. The it gets pulled in by the Pantheon right here, and that's the return of the team fight, because look at this. Renekton is getting cleanup after cleanup. There is just Swifty left in the fight. There is J4 as well. Can they look to win the 2v2? We don't know, but the dragon going over. Beautiful Pantheon ultimate, and he steals it from the Pantheon ultimate. My lord, how does that even happen? And he gets another kill for himself, and Meruem comes back from his early game deficit, getting a great kills, and suddenly BOH seem to be back in the game hell, because they get the dragon, they get the bot lane tower through the Herald, and they get the mid lane tower. Now they are the ones in the goal lead, and the game just completed as a 180 in a minute.
Oh my god, they got 2 turrets, they got the dragon, they killed every single one. This could not have gone any better from Team BOH. Beautiful Pantheon ultimate, beautiful, beautiful. It was perfectly timed, it was so good, and I just really want to say that they did such a good job there, because Team AOT was already a bit low. Like, you saw 3 champions around the dragon, they were already a bit low. Pantheon stole the dragon, he secured a kill on a champion, on an enemy, and then the Renekton just engaged, and they were just completely steamrolling the enemy teams. Really, really, really well done by Team BOH right there.
Absolutely, right? And the fact that the Renekton is now back in the game, right? He has a lot of items in the solo lane, right? That the Renekton does kill it. Oh, you can see Crowley being in trouble, does get the standoff. The triple CC comp, like you said, hell, charm after stun after stun. But oh, look at this. Ari could be in trouble, has to dash out as well. Survives to the skin of his teeth, but this is not looking good for Kale. He has to run away, and Merriweather might have bit off a bit more. He can shoot, does get the dash as well. Can he get a kill out of the army? Yes, he can. It's a 2-for-1 at the end of the day, but still advantage to Hawk because they get a couple of kills again in this fight, and they are looking strong. Lucian uses ultimate to get some focus. The Ari charm does land, and they want to fight, but not before they get completely eliminated right here. And now the exhaust onto the Varus, not looking good. AOT could lose this fight and potentially lose this series. Fox while still alive, and my god, they survive. But look at this again, a little bit too aggressive. The double kill goes over. Ari dies, Pantheon dies. Oh, J4 looking to get a third kill, but here comes Kaisa as well. He could be in trouble. His third ability is still there. Use it to run away as well. Kaisa almost got the kill onto him, but again, very close series of fights. The BOH looking like they are slightly coming out on top health level because they are able to get those kills and push the waves as well.
Oh, these teams are neck on neck, really. These teams are just neck on neck. Both really amazing teams. But Team BOH, I really want to credit them for what they're doing right now. They just completely shifted their playstyle. And as you're seeing, they're doing the chain CC that they're supposed to do. The Ari charm, the Renekton stun, the Pantheon stun. That's how they
Absolutely. I think
single out those target catch kills. It's not continue play like that. Sorry. They have to continue playing it and... Oh, it's
my mic wasn't working. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay, sorry.
Well, it does look like another fight's about to happen. Renekton is just being the unkillable crocodile at this point, but he will get the kill onto Lucian before dying as well. And like you said, they're playing their comp with the T, but now it looks like again, oh, the Pantheon does not lose GA yet, and Gragas gets a lot of damage as well, but the Kaisa does not yet die. And look at how low the Pantheon is still surviving. It's a 3-for-2 at the end of the day, and finally it looks like AOT are the ones who get a teamfight victory for themselves. And oh my lord, I mean, if I was a gambler and I was told to bet on any of these teams, I would never do that because you just don't know who's gonna win in this game, right? But yeah, what are your thoughts on what just happened? Because Dragon spawning in 30 seconds, and it's gonna be really close again because Renekton will not have his ult up, or maybe will have his ult up by that time.
I mean, I just want to say, like, there's so many throws in these games, which makes them so fun to watch. It's like both teams are super good. They're really good at, even if they're behind, getting those kills. But also, they sometimes make these mistakes. They get too ahead of themselves. They think, yeah, it's easy game anyways, and they just make a crucial mistake.
Absolutely, you can see the EQ lands on the Renekton. They really want to get their Renekton because they know the ultimate is not yet up. But look at this, the return damage does come as well. Kaisa's alive as well. The focus is there. Kale is in trouble. He is being chased after the Pantheon. The Pantheon gets the kill out of Vayne as well. Banned off the Hawk. Get the carry in this fight, and Moxie could be in trouble. I will fox you. And that Kaisa said, hey, you know what, guys? You ganked me a lot. It's time for me to gank you in the jungle, says, as he's running after the jungler as well. And this is a 4-for-nothing as Band of the Hawk have done the fight that they wanted to win, Hells. And this just could be barren right here for them.
Oh man, they're just really doing so well. The Pantheon ult is really good, but I want to point out the Lucian using his stasis enchant kind of caught BOH off guard because they were really going for that kill with the Pantheon ultimate and the Ari. It did catch him off guard, but they still won that fight because they separated the enemy teams and they were able to single out those champions to get those kills easily.
Oh, the Baron steal happens. We were just talking about how it would take a miracle Baron steal for AOT to somehow be alive in this game, and they get it. AOT, what happened, man? The Baron steal. Oh my lord! What is this game? It's hard for me to imagine else. But this Baron definitely helps them, right? Because they were getting behind, and now maybe they can climb slowly back up. And like you said, scaling could potentially be on their advantage. How big is this Baron for AOT?
Oh, it's so big. If they wouldn't have stolen it, they would have guaranteed lost at least one inhibitor. And now instead of losing the inhibitor, they got the Baron gold. They're getting turrets and the buff minions. And here we see Pantheon engaged under the buff minions, which is not what you want to do.
Yeah, Pantheon's fighting under a lot of Baron siege minions right here, and I think that's not a great idea for him. He does look to back right, and AOT, yes, their captain gets the secure smite on him. Crowley being the MVP in this game for that Baron secure. But look at this, Pantheon looking to go again, and this could be a fight. The GA does get revived right here, and Pantheon, Renekton just gets stunned up so hard he has to run away, and AOT is looking to get back in the fight as well. Got it! Gragas gets the kill, blue kill, double kill for them, and AOT suddenly, after getting Baron, have ushered a series of confidence because now they're just going after the team and they get themselves 4 kills, and looks like AOT are back, Hells. Like, what is this game? They just gonna end the game, it looks like.
They won the game. I think they won the game. They can end the game. What just happened? How did they win? How did this happen? How did AOT just win the game? Well, I can tell you how they won the game because Team BOH fully engaged under the Baron minions. And it just lost them the game. I cannot believe that they just lost the game. They just lost the game, what?
I'm just as flabbergasted as you are because I was not expecting the one push. Like you said, they just happened. And I feel AOT will remember this because if we head into game 3 and for some reason, right, they don't win, this moment in time when the Baron gets stolen and the ace almost happens, they will look back at this match and guys, we definitely screwed up right here. Because look at this, I have to give a lot of credit to Swifty and Crowley because of how well they played in in game 2, and they are definitely gonna be the MVPs. But Brian, what are your thoughts on this game? Because I mean, this looks like it was almost a win for BOH, but AOT got that victory from the jaws of defeat, it looks like.
I cannot believe that AOT won that game, really. So they stole the Baron, which was a miracle steal, but that shouldn't have been the win for them. That should have just been them surviving. But then you saw the team BOH, they didn't want to lose that turret, and they just went into an unfavorable position and just completely lost the fight. They got demolished by the Lucian first ability. The laser dealt so much damage to all of them. They just really messed up that one. I hate to say it, but they really messed up that one.
They definitely did, and this is just a testament as to what AOT can suddenly do in from behind. You never count this team out, right? The Baron steal and then just securing the game after that. BOH have a lot to look for, like a lot to look back in this game too. But like we said, guys, this is a best of 3. It is going to game 3. And look at the damage charts, just like looking at that, a lot of damage coming out from everyone. But Swifty on that Grag is definitely being a force to be reckoned with as well. And Hells, I know we only had you for 2 games, and guys, just to let you guys know, Hells will not be joining us for game 3, but we really want to thank him a lot. I would want Hell's Devil OP in chat coming out here for Hells for being such an amazing caster, joining us for this beautiful Best of 3 series. And Hells, thank you so much. We hope you had fun. You have any thoughts about your experience? Anything you want to say to the 300 plus fans that are watching this stream right now?
Yo, guys, thank you so much for watching. You have another game coming, which is going to be the most hyped match ever. I'm going to rewatch it very soon. And, I just want to give a big shout out to the people that did this tournament. It's just so amazing to see. We have such high level teams. We have such an amazing production. We have such an amazing stream, such an amazing community. Everything is just so amazing. And I'm really, really happy to have been part of it. Really, like, so amazing, everything.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Hellsel. This is it, guys, for Hell's side, and we were lucky and glad to have you on the stream as well. And honestly, the games lived up to your experience as well. I'm so happy you had fun watching these and casting these games, because they definitely are some really fun games right here. But well, that's it from Hellsel, guys. Thank you so much, Hells, for being a part of the stream, and we will be back with game 3, guys. The series is not yet over, like Hell said, and he will rewatch it, but the game is still happening now. So thank you, Hells, for joining in. We will see you perhaps in the future if you're ever interested in casting again.
Oh, yeah.
And make sure you guys follow, in case you do not know who Hellsel is, stop living under a rock. Hellsel is one of the best content creators we have for Wild Rift. Make sure you follow him on his YouTube channel, where he goes through amazing gameplay guides. I personally have watched them a lot. I know a lot of people in the community do as well. So make sure you give him a subscription on the YouTube channel as well. Thank you so much for having us, Hells. We will see you very, very soon. Thank you.
Thank you, man. Just a smile on my face. So yeah, have fun in the next game, and yeah, I'll see you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Awesome. Alright, guys, so that's it from Hell's side. We were again like to really give a shout out to Hells for helping us cast this wonderful game, and honestly, it's lived up to the hype. I did not expect these games would go as close as they did, but the fact that they did has made this tournament and this matchup even more epic than I would have imagined. I know that we couldn't have him for game 3, but again, time obligations. Hells was kind enough to do this on his own, so I'm very happy. But do not go anywhere. We will get Stark to join us for game 2. It will be the Stark and the BHISHI show for game 3, and the game is still there. Do not go anywhere. You want to know how this game ends, so make sure that you do not go anywhere, because the lobby is being created instantly, and we will find out who is gonna top the stage right here, because it's gonna be very, very, very interesting to see how it happens. But Hellsel OP in the chat coming out is amazing right here. Beautiful cast coming out, beautiful games as well, and we are looking to get Stark back in the thing very, very soon. So Stark, if you are on the damn stream, make sure you join our VC as well. The lobby has been created for you guys, and yep, very, 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 very soon the game will start. Like, let us know who you think is going to come back in game 3, right? Because see, guys, it's gonna be very close. Like AOT and this thing are, both very, very strong teams at this point, and I just don't know who's going to win. It's going to be insane at this point to see what will happen. And with game 3, right, Band of the Hawk are now on the blue side of the map, so it's going to be really, really interesting to see how that happens. AOT on the red side, Gragas priority will be something to be worth contesting in my opinion. And we're just waiting for Stark to join. Stark, Nubre, join the I'm just kidding. Stark, join the stream very, very fast. We're waiting for you as well, because I can solo cast too, but it would be good to have you. And again, guys, let us know who you think is going to win in game 3, because the winner of this series will have the first place in the league. They will get to pick between number 3 and number 4 in the tournament as well. And let's wait and see what happens, because game 3 is about to start in just a few seconds right here. And yep. All right. So the picks and bans will get started. I think we can move over to the caster screen, Baba. Like, I can have my face and Stark can join in with his face as well if he chooses to, and then we can figure that out in the point of view as well, because I'm hyped AF, and I think that's more fun than watching the lobby screen, guys. So Pani pee lo, don't worry, guys. Pani abhi jab piya jayega when this game is about to end, and we have to stay here. Like, I am keeping my dinner aside. I'm waiting for game 3. I'm gonna tell this team, guys, start bans, start bans at this point, and let's make sure that we are in the lobby as well. AOT, guys, brilliant comeback, but without that Baron Shield from Crowley, I feel just that Baron Shield gives him the MVP in my book, because I think like that Baron was literally like, the miracle. AOT were down, they're waiting, how can we win this game? This was their first series that they were about to lose right here, but they were like, no. Crowley's like, I will win this damn game for you. He goes with that J4, presses the EQ, flashes onto the Baron pit and gets the smite, secures the Baron, gets his team a victory. This is the beauty of Wild Rift, right? One person's outplay can change the outcome of the game right here, and this is where we see AOT, right? These are some of the players who played competitive for over 9 years. They know how to win. They know what being clutch means right here, right? But make no mistake, this is just the start, because it is game 2. Game 3 is left. Hawk are not out. Hawk will look at this game, know that they were winning in the mid game, know that they can still beat this unbeaten team. They themselves are unbeaten, but again, it's going to be hype as well to get this victory. So make sure you guys are tuning in, because this is going to be an insane game 3. We are starting with bans right here. Stark is joining me. Baba, if you could move him from the Discord, would be great. And it's going to be super, super awesome to see what's going to happen. And Stark is here, guys. Stark, my buddy, how are you doing? Are you as hyped as I am for this insane best of 3 that we've seen in the Wild Rift India circuit?
This was one of the best. I mean, this is the best match I've ever seen in the circuit till now. It has been amazing. I mean, I was really hyped. That helps. But Eminem on fire, BHISHI. Amazing game. Amazing casting as well. But yeah, I'm so excited. It was a Game of Thrones again, second game, and
oh my god, Game of Thrones is one of the. I mean, these are very high level teams, but I completely agree with you, right? The amount of throws each team did, suddenly you're like, who do I bet for? Like I could not for the life of me put a bet on any one of these teams, because it's just so close. Like, you one side, you're right, AOT is winning, the other side, like, Hawk is winning. But Stark, I have to ask you a question. Game 3, it did look like Hawk had a lot of mid-game advantages in both the games, right? Even in the second game, they were winning until they weren't. So do you feel, can they keep their cool and do what they did in game 1 and close out this game? Or do you think AOT, with this newly formed structure, this happiness, this confidence, this clutch factor, is going to take game 3? Because I know I don't want to put you on the spot by asking who you think, but do you think it's possible that Hawk can win this game?
Yes, definitely. I'm definitely hoping for Hawk to win this game. I'm a big fan of Volk, and he carried both the games. And Blizzard played extremely well. He got the champs. He was on point. But then eventually, it was so good that it was just a very big dominance from mid lane, I feel. And jungle, obviously, kept switching back between RPG and Crowley. One smite steal after another smite steal, one infernal, one baron, and it has been extremely fun to watch the smite steals. And I think mid lane jungle is the thing to watch. Obviously, in bottom lane, Fox and Kale both extremely well balanced. I mean, Fox is extremely aggressive. Kale dishes down so much damage also. Like Fox is that kind of call an ambulance, not for me kind of player. He goes and kills and then he dies himself.
Every time, right, in the first 3 minutes of the game, I'm like, oh, this is another kill. But wait, Fox gets another. Does it thrice? I mean, this is like when you're dealing with a marksman who will not give up, right? Who will wait for his last fight to get that kill. But this is what I love about these two teams, right? They have some insanely mechanically strong players, right? And the fact that, honestly, it doesn't matter who wins. In my heart, I think both Band of the Hawk and AOT have played insanely well games, and if whoever wins completely deserves to win, because they are giving us a spectacle to watch right here, right? It's super fun to watch these teams play, and you can see the bans coming out, right? It's a Fiora ban at this point. Grag is getting banned out. Stark, they do not want to give Gragas a Swifty because Gragas got a solo kill, by the way. Remember that he got a solo kill in the early game, and to all credit to Merum came back very well also. He was ahead in the mid game as well. So I have to say both these banners are having their moments where they are shining, and these junglers also having their moments. The Infernal Dragon was stolen by RPG-san, then the Baron was stolen by Crowley, right? So again, you're seeing the back and forths happening because of how close these teams are at their skill level, right? And I just can't wait to see what happens in Game 3. I hope we get a spectacle in Game 3. I hope it's not a stomp on either of these teams, because that would not be fair for the viewers, but let's just hope what happens, right? And again, like, do you think any type of pick is going to be important in this game, or do you just feel like these teams can just play everything? It just comes down to who is more clutch at this point in time.
Feel 2.4, it's the domination of the crit boys, and if they pick their crit champs, I think disengage and CC is good. I'm hopefully waiting that Rammus or Malphite, something like of that sort, will be picked actually, because they're so good against AD comps. But it's going to be it's so team fight oriented, right? Both these teams are foregoing their standard picks. Crowley tried Lee Sin and then he just switched back to the amazing Jarvan that he played in second game, and it was so good. He just went for the team fight and instantly they won, right? It's all they have given up their pretenses of just going for the fight, the damage and so on, and they're playing solidly as one fat team, and they're going for the 5-man, haath pakad ke ja rahe sab log, is what Crowley says, and it was so good. I'm happy, it has gone to the team fight, the very good macro. They're trading minions for minions, like Hell's told, the Gragas versus the Renekton. Like, it's almost as if he was stream sniping and watching it. Like, he got the 2-minion lead, he got the level lead, and instant Renekton is dead. So he's doing it so well. They're playing it to the max peak level gameplay. We are seeing it. I don't think this level gameplay is going to be coming till the finals.
Absolutely, right? And we are seeing the bans come out, right? I'm just going to read them out. Fiora, Gragas, Ziggs, Braum coming out right here, right? So this time, Swifty is not going to get his Gragas. It could be a first pick Garen if they just want to play with frontline right here. And then they ended up banning Galio. Oh, I forgot only AOT. Galio was up right there. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. And again, the last ban has to come out.
Definitely, the Galio is the standard ban from AOT. They don't want to let that champ go any of the games soon. But it's so funny that after all the Garen, the mocking Garen, Garen players saying that they are the noobs who cannot play skill champ. Baryon just chats it out and just smashes. He just walks into tower, tanks the turret, gets the skills. It was very fun to watch. Garen, no fucks given gameplay.
Yeah, well, no Garen, no Gragas, no Braum, no Ziggs, no Galio. A lot of these picks that people love to play have been banned out. I think we are good to go right here. Let's gonna give them a call saying go. And I think game 3 is about to get started, guys.
Wait, is my camera okay? What happened?
Oh, no, it's fine. Baba, can you Discord share? I think that was working really well.
No, it's fine, I guess. Yeah, it's fine.
Alright, so cool. We're gonna just Discord screen share Baba, look at Baba's as well. And Unsane, oh my lord, brilliant super chat from Norfanger says the Baron Shield deserves it. Intensity is just at his par. Brilliant. Thank you so much for the super chat as well. Stark will fix this camera, guys. Do not worry anywhere. Game 3 has started. The bans have come out right here, and I cannot wait to see what gets picked. Remember, guys, Band of the Hawk are on the blue side, but no power picks, as far as I remember, are available because Galio, Ziggs, Braum, Gragas, they're all pretty much Not there.
Fox's Kaisa is open. Will he go for the Jinx Lulu of last season?
Oh my
All
god,
comes.
Lulu
Oh, the
is
Corki was
open.
left.
Corki was
was
left,
left.
but Lulu is left on the side of AOT. They do not want to give Lulu to Band of the Hawk right here, Stark. And Kaisa gets picked up as well. So this time Kale is like, you know what, no more Valor's duty for me. I am done. Give me that. And the Lulu getting picked up again makes the bot lane strong. This time they want to play around the bot lane because make no mistake, right? Game 2 was mostly won by the jungle and the Baron laners, I would say. And obviously the CC from the bot lane was there at this point. But it's quite interesting to see how that happens. And I'm waiting to see what picks are going to be picked right here. The Nami, the Lee Sin is now on the side of the Hawk. What are your thoughts on the picks so far, Stark?
RPG is a very good Lee Sin as well. I have not seen him play it in competitive much because he goes for the more teamfight oriented. This time they have the damage from the Corki and the Nami. I mean, they have the CC, right? So I think he will be going in for a more damage oriented build. I think Volk will default to Orianna. Like I think he's been saying that he likes to play Asol also. Let's see whether he picks that. But Diana. Okay, come on. Yeah, it's very good picks from both the teams till now. They're all, damage oriented, no tanks coming in as of yet. The Baron Swifty
I
seems
like
to be
that.
hovering.
No
the
thanks.
Akali
We just
also.
see more fights happening at this
Yeah,
point.
exactly. More skirmish heavy oriented.
Oh,
pick.
the Akali hover is there. The Akali hover is there. It was
Okay.
unnoticed. Very broken pick right here. I don't know. He's going to go for Riven maybe. We'll have to wait and see.
This guy, okay, Garen's gone, right? Okay, who's Sirish? Yes! Yes!
No. He's going to go for... I don't know. Swift is playing with the heart right here. Singed would be very good right here. But let's see if it's going to get locked in. 1 second to go. The Riven! I told you. I mean, see, when push comes to shove, Swifty knows his Riven is insane in teamfights. He's done it against TGT. He's trying to do it against Band of the Hawk. But Camille, Meruem, again, these are picks that are very good and playmaking, but I'll have to be honest, both of these champions are still learning, are not as clean as maybe they could be on their Gragas's and the Renekton's right here. But the Diana from Walk, right, goes back to his old team days where he used to carry on that pickup right here as well. And Crowley being Xin Zhao is honestly so good because if there is one champion in the early game that does very well into Lee Sin, it is that Xin Zhao right here. And TF as well on Blizzard, giving him the side roam ability as well. So I like the comp, but tell me a bit more about what BOH want to do right here, because I you can see very clearly what AOT want to do. They want to gank and they want to have numbers advantage with the TF ultimate. But what do BOH want to do with their composition? They just want to all out fight, don't they? Because they have the Diana and the Camille.
Yeah, BOH just wants to go in for the lock-in potential, right? They'll go in, the Lee Sin will pick out one person, or the Camille will pick out one person, or the Corki will just shred through the enemy with his package. It's all they want to do, right? They want to have skirmish-heavy potential, and I think they want to use ults on cooldown to get the picks, because Xin Zhao falls off fast, right? And Riven, if he's not ahead very much, also falls off. Is the TF who's going to scale? Is the Fox is going? I mean, the Kaisa is going to scale, right? If they shut down the early game picks pretty hard with those level 5 ultimates which they have, which are very good for lockdown, I think the game will go to their favor. It's actually a good draft. They have the balance of magic damage and AD damage as well, just like the other. But if they leave the Xin Zhao to scale, like get some kills in the early game, it's going to be hard for them.
We are starting with the game already. Level 1, you can see, right? Volk is putting a lot of pressure. He is not letting the TF do anything in this game at this point. And you can see already Riven will look to start pushing away as well. And again, the same strategy that they keep doing has happened to them again. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this ends up panning out. But I feel like this will be a slightly slower game just because it's a very high stakes game at this point for both the teams, right? And they will not end up playing as aggressively as we've seen them. Band of the Hawk are on the blue side Stark. Do you see any sort of scuttle fights happening? Because, Xin Zhao and Crowley will want to fight on those scuttles. Like, how he does that every damn game.
Yep, I think Xin Zhao level 2 will definitely be very good to pick against the Lee Sin, but if the TF rotates and lands his stun card, I think they're going to be able to burst down one enemy champ before going ahead. So it all depends on whether the mid laners are going to rotate and whether the Baron lane are going to answer. In Baron, it looks like Riven has the priority here, while in the bot lane, it looks like AOT is ready with the wards and the, they have the AOT has definitely the lead here.
Yeah, but it looks like Swifty has already rotated for the Herald and he does want to be the one to start this, and it looks like Xin Zhao also is going for that, but he's a bit too late right here, and Swifty's like, hey, you know what, Crowley, you're not there. I think Crowley decided, you know what guys, no need to fight that, I'm just going to go bot and get it. So I think that they're not trading, which is very interesting, right? I usually expect them to trade with the Xin Zhao, but they're choosing not to do that. In fact, it is them who are just looking to make a trade happen. This is very unlike AOT, I have to say. Like, they generally are the ones who will fight for every scuttle. But the game seems to be quite even so far, and now Xin Zhao is in the bot lane. Might have to look for a gank right here. The red buff is obviously taken as well. And now look at this, they are overextended, and here comes Mr. Crowley. Looks like a gank on IMC. IMC uses exhaust right here. Nami will have to run away. Jumps onto Fox. Fox will have to blow his flash. The two-man knockup is still there. Bryce. Oh, nice use of barrier right here. He will get a kill back, and not before they trade the kills right here. The ADC dies, but Fox yet again gets first blood for himself, but he dies in the process, giving the kill back away to the Zinza. So Zinza gets his one kill, but I still think Hawk maybe come out on top here, sir.
Obviously the Corki scales much better, and the extra gold which comes from the first blood is definitely more worth to the Corki in the lane now. And Zinza will be falling off a little bit behind levels now from Lee Sin, even though he gets the little bit of the early game lead. So Zinza looking to hit, I mean the Lee Sin already looking to hit level 5 now, might be looking in for a gank while okay, Zinza is still ahead on level. Never mind.
Zinza is the kill grants him the XP as well, right? So it's going to be interesting to see how the gank happens. But Lee Sin has farmed up his early game, just got his scuttle, didn't have a lot to do at this point. So just choosing to farm up. And again, the game, the first kill advantage does go over to BOH, right? So Corki is in a great spot, 2,400 gold for himself. Kaisa is like around 400 gold behind. And that's where the goal lead definitely is on BOH. And you can see the ward does spot him out right here. And, again, Crowley and Swifty, I think Crowley is really playing around Swifty a lot in the whole series. I'm noticing that he's trying to actually no, he played on bot as well. Never mind. Wall could be in trouble. And what do you think is going to happen level 5 star? Do you think some plays will be made with the TF, because the TF ult being there could make a fight into a numbers advantage for AOT?
Exactly. They have to be able to get the priority in the mid lane and then use it, because if the TF leaves before the minions have pushed in, I think he's going to lose some plays. And Diana getting ahead, especially on where she's the only engage on the team. Well, like a AoE engage, I think it's really bad for the team because all of them are squishy. And now the dragon is spawning in 14 seconds. It's going to be in the ocean. So as the Rift Herald, but I think both of them are going to look for the Ocean Dragon, because Kaisa and Riven and all will definitely look for Ocean, and this side obviously the Corki and Diana look for the it's good for both teams basically. So
well,
looks like both teams are rotating towards it.
They definitely are, but Kaisa looking to back right now, which I think is a bit too late for her as well. But then again, I don't think they want to instantly start the dragon. This is making Swifty be like, you know what, Kaisa, you are backing, so let me push one more wave before I go for it. But if here Band of the Hawk force the dragon, they can't do anything. Even Swifty, even Crowley looking to back, but he stops his back because he notices that entirety of BOH are here. We might be in for our first team fight stuck, and it looks like everyone is in position. TF is also being used to spot people. The stun card is ready right here, and he could be in trouble with Camille. Oh, dodges or gets stunned right here, but look at the damage onto RP. He's quite low. Nami are also being used. Reinhardt as well. Camille lands. The Corki package is on point. Head Snoxy as well. Oh, beautiful ultimate from KL. 3 positions to survive, but it is still Man of the Hawk who get the kill for himself, but not before they die in the process. The damage coming from the Phosphorus Bomb is insane right here, and Man of the Hawk get another kill for themselves. And oh my god, what a close team fight. Still a 1-for-1. He could be in trouble. Blizzard on that TF. The Lee Sin will go in again. Oh, beautiful fight, and here comes Swifty as well, getting the kill. Oh my god, another close fight. It's another even fight. There is no dragon to be taken, and both teams at this point are going neck to neck in this game.
It's one CC after the other. One gets a kill, the other one gets a kill. That was so good engage from the Camille, and Lee Sin tried to escape. Kaisa got the Lulu ult and escaped, but then it's just they're fighting under tower. The Riven, the Swift, I think the MVP of this fight is 50. He just went and kept going in again and again and getting the kills for himself. And now he is 101. He has the cleaver completed, and I mean it's a fest. It's a fest. It's a kill
to give credits to Kale with that ult. Maroon could be in trouble. Gets stunned ahead, stun again. Oh, he has to flash away right here, but he is extremely low. Never mind. Nami, heal and honeypots make him survive, but look at this AOT. Yokuzen had one opportunity to instantly start dragon. Remember, there is nobody who has ultimates at this point, but Lee Sin, Nami ults are up right now. Lulu, Zinza ults are also up right now, so it's a game of ultimates and who can use them at this point, and Riven's gonna go in. He's looking to get the Zinza, and Zinza goes after the Corki as well. Nice to him an ultimate as well. Diana gets a 4 ultimate as well. Wall plays really, really well, but Wall survives with the skin of his teeth at this HP, and Corki is looking to get the last one attack, but does not get it at this point. But look at the HP on both the teams. They are so low. Blizzard needs autos. He gets a red card. Here comes Swifty for the cleanup. Can he get it? Yes, he can. Double kills on AOT and won the fight. What a beautiful fight coming out from both the teams. Holy crap.
Holy shit, this is the... Oh, he gets in one more kill. The Twisted Fate goes in again. And, okay, Blizzard, I mean, it's an ace. It's an ace. It's an ace from AOT towards BOH. This has been an intense Silver Scrapes match going on. They get the multiple kills and they go back in again and again. And, the extended team fight coming in, even though Diana got a 4-man ult, was just too good. And now they're getting the Ocean Dragon as well. AOT come out on top, 8-4, 2,000 gold lead at 6 minutes.
Man, oh man, what a team fight. Blizzard playing that so well at this point, and Swifty going back and coming with the teleport just to make sure he could win that team fight. This is what we call very quick thinking, and Swifty on that Riven is a treat to watch, I have to say. And Band of the Hawk, however, they are no slouches. Don't count them out. They instantly get the Herald for themselves. Look at this, Volk is pushing, Fox is pushing the bot lane, and there's nobody to stop him. He might be able to get a couple of platings right here. So even though they won the fight, it still looks like the game is quite even Stevens, honestly. And I think Fox and Hawk, they are very good at these rotations. Oh, he could be in trouble. Oh, he stood a lot longer than he should have. Here comes the stun, here comes that as well. Instantly, poof, dead. The Nami ult is just like a wave that you ride when you get a kill for yourself, is what happens, Star, because they get the kill and they could look to push the bot lane tower.
Exactly. AOT is just playing very much, they are very clean on the cross-map plays.
Oh, in the mid lane, you can
all
see
the fights.
two flashes. They survived the onslaught. This is great because if they died right here, then the mid lane tower could go down. But look at this, they are looking to get the bot lane tower. Never mind, they only get 2 and they back off. The goal lead Stark slowly grows in favor of AOT. And who do you think in AOT is going to be the carry right now? Because 4 kills onto Blizzard, he definitely seems to be in a great spot right now.
Exactly. Blizzard TF is going to be scaling so well in the late game. But the Zinza was obviously going to fall off. The Swifty is scaling extremely well on this Riven as well. He's already completed the blade. He has the Ninja Tabby with the teleport. Compared to the the Triforce on the Camille, gold lead is there a little bit. On the Camille still, Beruam is still farming up. But then in the late game, he's going to offer much more damage.
In the bot lane, you can see a fight happening. They get the stun card in the attempt to get the turret. The Lee Sin dies. The turret does not go down right here. This is not looking good for BOH. The Blizzard's there with the stun card as well. The competition is great. The stun lands onto Walk, and here comes the Zinzao as well. Looks to get the Diana. Diana uses ultimate, but to win. The redemption popped up. Tops up AOT. They get themselves another kill. Camille is hiding in the back. The teleport's up. Oh, the stun lands again. They go in. Aggression at its finest. Teleport being used to make sure those kills have no kills, get in the way of AOT right here. They get another kill. Oh my god. Meruem, why would you do that for yourself? That is not good. He looks to fight in but ends up dying in the process. Foxwise is trying to get the kill, but Mr. Curry survives. The Q does land. Will he go in? No, he will not, because that's walking into his own death. Sonic waving into his own death right here. But AOT again coming out on top. I think Meruem made a small mistake right there by standing a little more than he should have. And again, Stark, this just makes things worse and worse and worse, because now AOT are the one who have 13 kills, and this TF is just getting fed and fed and fed.
It's now almost they're trying to get a fight back in return, but then they are not very good at it. It's going to be just the CC is too much. The TF damage is also too much at this point, and they're just fighting. It's the answer to Fox's aggression in the end was the aggression which they themselves have. They are playing so aggressive. Every single stun card they are engaging on, every single fight they're going on. I think the TF Zinzao comp which we used to play in TGT is just too good. It's so good. The comp is too good. The Lulu just so clean. And
now
every
they want
time
to
they
go
have the
back
ult
to Mech, and Merrick thought that he is, gonna be 1v1 in the Riven. The Riven is like, hey, guys, I have company right here. Now he could be in trouble. The Night Double Bubble does land, and Meruem and Walt somehow survive right here. And that's quite interesting, honestly, because I thought it was going to go from bad to worse for AOT, for BOH, but they managed to keep things even between themselves. But the bot lane tower could go on Meruem again. I think he's staying a bit longer. I'm not sure if that's a good call right here. Again, I think this mistakes can't keep happening, right? Just give up the tower. Just take your losses for now, and look to come back another team fight. Because if they keep doing that, if Meruem keeps dying on that coming, it's not gonna bode well for them, right? And now with Dragon spawning Stark, we have to give advantage to AOT, right? AOT are the ones where they are gonna be able to have this advantage in the Dragon fight.
Exactly, right? You can see the item gap only coming through. Zinzao has completed the Stellax Cage and the Black Cleaver, where the Lee Sin has only has the Ghost Blade still sitting on the Redemption. They're so far ahead.
Oh, you can see another stun card landing. Meruem wanted to get some kills. Meruem just keeps, coming into the gold stuns a lot. The Herald gets used again. Wall gets another stun right here. And again, Wall could be in trouble. Zinzao jumps onto that. The Diana ult. Oh, beautiful disengage from Zinzao right here. Nicely managed to dodge the Diana ult right here. Another stun card. This time it's onto the carry. And again, you cannot stop these stun cards from landing in your faces. And AOT, things are going from good to great, and BOH are going from bad to worse at this point. They've lost their mid laner, and I think this could be a potential dragon for them. They're looking to get mid lane tower in the process, but not before Swifty is ready as well to make things happen. Look at that HP. Onto that, the Rampage, Blizzard MVP in this game right here, but so is his whole team. They get the mid lane tower for the dragon, but they lose another kill, and Foxy has to be in trouble right now. He does have his package, but to what avail? Again he gets stunned, and again they die. What is happening? BOH are just dying one after the other. Start.
I mean, it has turned bad to worse, and it has just become extremely horrible now. Every time the card lands, Zinza goes in, the river goes in, they are getting the stuns, they're getting the knockups on point, and Fox is, I mean, the Kale is just there to complete the kills with his Kazi and Rain with his Kaiser Q, and they're getting so many kills. It's 42 to 34, it's gone up to 8,000 gold, it's 12 minutes only, they've got 2 dragons, they've got a tower lead as well. I think it has gone extremely horrible for Band of the Hawk. I think aggression, they could not match just with the skirmish heavy picks that
I would definitely want to say it's also pressure, right? Like this is the team that has not played at the highest levels of gameplay. Yes, they played a lot in other games as well, but you're looking at a team with Crowley and Swifty and Blizzard, right? 9 years of experience playing international lands and lands as well. Like, they do not choke when they need to. They play their games as they want to, and it does look like Band of the Hawk, while they're playing good, are feeling the nerves a little, and that nerves are looking to come to bite them back, because this is not a good fight for them. They're nearly 9k gold deficit at this point, and for how well they played, Stark, game 2 could have been there, Stark. Like, they were this close to beating AOT, but sadly now they are looking to get defeat in their hands, because they are not gonna, it's gonna be very hard for them to come back. Right? Do you think any opportunity, maybe a 5-man Diana ultimate with the right Corki package, like that's the only way I see them coming back? Because Zinzao does fall off, but they are so far ahead that there's no point on them falling off, and TF is not falling off at all. TF is in a great spot. Crowley is walking in between 4 people of BOH Stark and getting the smite for himself. Never mind, RPC gets the smite back, but what is happening for this team?
Any stun that TF lands, I think it's going to be a guaranteed kill. It's like a pressure now at this point. Zinza just walking in, he's not even losing some health because he's built armor. He has the Ninja Tabi also. Not much damage falling on him. He has the Lulu for backup. I think Lulu's secret MVP of both these games here. Both the games which
absolutely. I think the bot lane definitely held up their carry potential as well. Kale being the unsung hero, Lulu 0-0-16, nearly 100% participation. We have to give credits to the bot lane of AOT. This game playing extremely well through the jungler as well with their aggression right now. And this is what we see and expect from some of the high caliber teams. After 2 very, very, very fun games which could have gone either ways, game 3 is looking like AOT in their element right now, and Band of the Hawk are struggling because they are making mistakes and they are struggling in this game, but it is up to them to pull off a miracle run right now, because AOT did in game 2. The balance sheet happened, the comeback happened. It could happen for BOH too if they don't lose their pressure, if they keep their mental up.
I mean, second game was even, until the Infernal Dragon, and then they pulled it back, but it has been a stomp this game, I feel. The gold lead is just too much for them to come back from. I mean, unless they have a miracle engage or someone throws, I think it's looking very, very good for AOT.
Great send on the Kaiser as well, just to make sure the Corki Diana do not get the damage to kill him right here, which is a great choice. And then in the bot lane again, you can see a fight happening. Oh, Zinza could be in trouble, does not have his GA at this point. Oh, will survive. Nice flash kick up, but Blizzard has a Zonya, has a flash as well. Will look to survive, a tad bit too aggressive. The teleport being used for good measure at this point, and this is probably the great option they could have gotten to get a kill. Look at this flash stun. Oh, flashes out, and the Swifty could have almost gotten a kill for himself, but it does not yet happen. Teams are playing aggressive. AOT, do not stop their onslaught, but BOH hanging on by a thread right here in this game, right? And it's going to be really fun to see what happens, because they are on a ward. Merum, Lee Sin, Corki, Diana are there. Can they do something is a question you have to ask. Never mind, AOT, like, you know what guys, we back off right now, and I think even the Riven at this point is quite far ahead in the game, and with 2 completed items and a teleport for herself, you're looking to be good. And the dragon spawning Stark, I think this is going to be a fight where it's really going to be on AOT to throw at this point, because they are just so strong.
Yep, and the Lulu speed boost and the TF passive is just going to go after one champion after getting stuns of zoning them out completely. He's 3
items, right? Completed, right? One stun. Yeah. Oh, look at, he could be in trouble right now. Volk is there to catch him as well. Oh, the decent Q does not land. How lucky was that? The Q done, he could have died. Oh, he could be dead right here. How does he survive the skin of his HP? We don't know, but he's buying enough time to do damage. But again, BOS get the stun, get the shutdown they wanted to, but not before they lose. The ADC in the process, not before they lose. The Nami in the process, not before they lose. The other guys in the process as well. This is not good. They have lost 4 in the place of 2, and the Dragon 2 boot. And this is another AOT victory. BOH playing their hearts out in the last team fight, doing as much as they can to stop the Blizzard from raining on their parade. But at this point, it does not matter, because even if you stop the Blizzard, the rest of the train of the AOT continued ramping on to get the Dragon, and now possibly getting the Baron for themselves as well.
Yep, Justice came strict for both these teams, for the Band of the Hawk, and now it's the Baron start for them, and they're looking to, Camille is just looking to
Yeah, but
catch the
Meram
Kai'Sa.
is
Kai'Sa
there.
has
He's trying to
no.
buy some time at this point, and Kale is like, I'm not ignore the Camille. It's just like, just too bad, just too bad, just too bad, and that's the call. Nice bit of Zonia right here. Can he smite on time is the question. Yes, he does. Oh, very close smite, I must say. And Meram trying to be the sole survivor does not manage to get anything for himself. And good usage of Zonia by Kale really baited Camille into thinking that, hey, you know what, I'm going to die, and then just uses and pops his Zonia at this point, and they are able to survive a beautiful, beautiful fight. And Dragon Baron going over. Stark, AOT have done it. It looks like this is going to be their victory to win after a very, very closely fought series with Baron in their hands. It does look like it's going to be their win. And what are your thoughts on this game so far that it's going?
Yep, 3 dragons ahead, 12,000 gold ahead, 18 kills ahead. I don't think anything can go after this. It's just waiting to see whether it breaks the 20,000 kill record which we have seen in the Contenders League. This is definitely one of the biggest storms we've seen in a while. And yep, it's just too far gone at this point. The TF is going to stun, lock and kill anyone he looks at. And they're just raining down from 3 sides. 131 comp coming in, trying to get in the inhibitor tower, and once the inhibitors fall, I think it's just a game of who lose. I mean,
Yeah, the
it's just
1-3-1
bleed out.
1-3-1 split is happening, like you said, Stark. And this is going to be the last push, the last stand for Man of the Hawk. You know, they want to get this team. They almost tasted victory, honestly, until it was taken away from their hands by the jungler Smite, who stole the Baron on the side of AOT. A 3-man Nami ultimate, too late, 2 nibs gone, 3rd aim gone as well. We have to look back at game 2 and how close BHISHI were to defeating AOT. What a beautiful spectacle of a BOT you've seen. Honestly, the best that I have seen in Indian scene by far. And again, the final fight does happen. They are looking to get on the wall. Does use Zonia, gets a 3-man ultimate, but again does not have enough damage. And the gold cards keep hitting and hitting. These gold cards will be hitting them in the nightmares at this point because of how often Blizzard is landing them. The Corki package, the last put effort, double kill on the Kai'Sa as well, unkillable at this point. And BOH have lost. AOT have snatched victory from the jaws of defeat, and they are going to top the Wild Rift India Circuit Contenders League star.
Holy shit! This was one of the. It was such a good gameplay from AOT, and Blizzard definitely securing his MVP rightfully. 31,000 damage with the most. I mean, the RFC Rabadon just it's just too good. And Eternal securing the kills, coming back. 10-0-7 on this guy. It was so clean gameplay from the mid and bot side of this game, and I mean, it was just a wonderful game to watch, and best series I've ever watched. This was so close, and Fox obviously dying a little too much this time. 1-6 and 5 still coming the SVP.
He did what he could, but honestly, the aggression from Crowley in this game, and just from level 1 to level 5, right? AOT always had a goal lead, and they just had a crazy dragon fight with Riven teleporting back in the fight just to get that kill. Beautiful presence of mind from Swifty, right? And I feel like both these banners played extremely well, but in the clutch moments, right, Swifty always managed to show up a little bit more. This Riven game proved exactly that, and in this game 3, the draft from AOT was just so good, and that allowed them to just play so well into their strength stock. And look at the damage output, right? The damage charts is insane, right? 31,000 coming out, 28 from Kale as well. Kale had a statement game to prove because he did not stand out as much in game 1 and 2, but in game 2 he definitely showed why he's a challenger level marksman player, right, Stock?
Yep, definitely smashing on that Kai'Sa. Lulu, I think Lulu is the MVP of all 4 the games. It was so good. He is 0, 1 and 22 of the 24 kills. Noxy has played very well. Last game also he had the Lulu, I think. And it is just such a clean pick, right? He's supporting, he's diving whoever goes in, he's just putting the ult on them, and they're surviving through it all. Last game it was the Jarvan, this game it is the Zinzao, and it was just too well played from this entire comp. And I mean, it was just okay. I'm totally satisfied with this gameplay.
I mean, we have to say that it's a beautiful, beautiful game right there coming out from both the teams. We have to give credit, guys. No matter what happens in game 3, please let's give respect to Man of the Hawk and AOT because they both gave us one of the best Wild Rift series we have seen in the longest time. And do not go anywhere because we are going to have a post-game interview with none other than Mr. Crowley. We are going to get his thoughts on game 1, 2, and 3. So make sure you are here for the next 2-3 minutes because we are going to get Crowley on stage in the game in the video as well because we have to talk to him, right? And I mean, Stark, imagine being in this game, right? Imagine being a part of this best of 3 series, wondering how much pressure you have to face with, right? But then just to keep fighting, like just being in Crowley's position, right? Stealing that Baron, the amount of balls, the amount of confidence, the amount of clutch factor, right? We don't get to see this much in other Wild Rift and other matches in the Conquerors. Like it's definitely these 2 teams that have been able to bring us such level of intensity in action, right?
Yep, definitely. I mean, Chad Crowley. It's just the battle of this mindset. I cannot comment on this at all because I'm the worst. But yeah, I mean, just too good, just too good. And I mean, I want to ask Crowley what he felt while he went in and tried to steal the Baron. It was just too good. I'm a lot at a loss for word. That's why I'm responding so much with just sounds. Sorry, Chad.
That's all good, guys.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
this is the beauty of Wild Rift, right? Like some games literally leave us speechless, and I think this was one of the games that definitely did. Like I can't tell you, Stark, right? Game 2, right? Imagine casting that game, right? Thinking that BOH have done it. BOH have done it. BOH have beaten AOT. And then suddenly, this guy comes with a Jarvan EQ and just steals Baron out of nowhere. Like, literally, catching victory from the jaws of defeat right here, right? These are these storylines, these games, right? Like, yes, they were throws. Yes, this is not clean. Yes, it happens. But it was so darn fun to watch, right? Like, I absolutely loved watching these games.
Exactly. It's just too good. It is just too good. And I mean, I want to. I like I had said in chat, right? The MVP of this series is definitely going to get a skin from my side as well. It was so exciting. Blizzard hit me up in Discord, and TF skin definitely coming your way. But I mean, it was just too good. It was just good, and Hell's coming on. It was just the cherry on top. It was the best series that Conquerors has seen as far. I mean, wonderful. It was just too good.
Awesome. So we have Crowley in the chat as well. Uh, we're getting him on the screen as well. Baba, just let me know if you have him. Crowley has joined the Discord. There we go. So guys, we have Crowley with us, and we are gonna help him ask a few questions. Crowley, Baba, if you can get Crowley's camera also on the screen. So we're just looking to do that so that we have. And guys, if you have any questions for Crowley, tell me in chat. I will ask him as well because I'm gonna ask him a few questions. Stark is gonna have some questions for himself. But if you have any questions for our boy Crowley right here, let us know because we're gonna ask him. And I mean, I too have a lot of questions. I want to go first, but in just a few seconds, guys, we have Crowley joining us from AOT with his 2-1 victory over BOH right here, and it's gonna be crazy. And there we go. We have Crowley on the stream with us. Crowley, what is up, buddy? Are you there?
Am I audible? Am I watchable?
You are audible,
You
and
are
I
audible.
definitely think
You
you're
should be watching.
watchable also. And Crowley, I have to ask the first thing, right? How does it feel after that best of 3 series? Like, how's the team? Like, what? Like, just how do you feel after this win?
I mean, on paper, I think their Dragon Lane was doing better than ours. Won't lie. There was a bit of a Dragon Lane diff happening. So we were kind of getting cucked in that aspect. And
Mhm.
rest all lanes, I think we were doing fine only. Like this wild Oriana trying to break the plant versus Lee Sin and all, they were also having fuck ups. We were also having fuck ups. But as the game kept on going, I feel like we adapted better.
Yep. So
एक्चुअली बोल सकते हैं क्या स्माइल ठग दिया सामने वाले ने
बोल दे
पर
जो
हाँ एक्चुअली वही
unfiltered,
बोल
unfiltered, unfiltered, unfiltered. No, so that is what I want to ask you about game 2, right? Because the game 1 was close and they had like a little bit of a scaling composition, thoda sa ups and downs हुआ. In game 2, right, started off well for you guys, and then then Infernal Dragon got stolen, and eventually like things looked from bad to worse, right? And I think this is the closest that AOT have come to losing a best of 3 or a best of 5 series, right? Like, tell me a little bit before, like, I want the voicecom ka thoda sa idea before you went ahead and stole that Baron. What was going through everybody's mind? I just want to know, like, what was the thought process? Were you like, guys, I'm gonna go, like, just walk me through that point in time in game 2 when you stole the Baron?
I mean, I was the first one dead during the dragon, right? So I respawned earlier. I think I'm not sure. So everyone lost the team fight. This mad Croco chasing us and fucking us over and stuff like that. So I was like, it was like mute, like सांस लेने का आवाज आ रहा था क्योंकि people knew कि wicket गिर चुकी है.
Oh.
So first, I was walking. Then they blew the spells early. I could see it in fog, like the spells which you use to scout, right? When you
Yes.
don't have vision. So I walked around. I saw a plant. The Swifty was like, "Gee, बच्चे YOLO, YOLO हो गया अभी क्या बोलना."
But uske baad, like, instantly after Baron, you all just ended the game. Like, what was the reaction the moment you stole Baron? Like, what was the team reaction? Like, guys, fuck it, we got like, what was the atmosphere like? And then you just instantly
I
ended.
mean,
Like,
I
you
mean
did.
if you see the gold right in that game, we
Mm-hmm.
were ahead and we threw fight. That's why they got even.
Correct,
So we
correct.
were winning only, to be honest. Just we had bad button pressing. I don't know. People didn't jerk off or something today. They couldn't like press buttons properly. पता नहीं. तो I don't know. So mass fuck ups were happening during targeting. Like there was this 3v5 fight at Infernal Dragon. Pantheon went in. He fucked up his kit, and then he got out somehow. And Ari is like sitting next to me. I know Raksha Bandhan is coming in like 2-3 days, but my team is celebrating it early and not hitting Ari. You know, so thoda bahut chudap is happening on all sides. So yeah, I mean, rest of all of us were playing good only, but little bit target fuck ups are happening. So once you have double AD, 3 items tank J4. I think what Hawk made a mistake was they had to cuck up and play to like give one lane and wait for Baron, I guess, and then win the fight. I think that game was still winnable for them even after the Baron steal. But you know how it is, right? A Baron, stolen Baron is mental damage to most
Yeah, a
players
lot.
who are. Yeah. So it's more or less mental damage. I feel at that
Did
point.
you feel that in game 3? Because after this balance steal in the victory in game 2, right? Like your morale must have been high because you got the victory, right? You know that the pressure's on them now because they kind of threw, right? They were in the position to just secure the balance. That could have been their victory, honestly, at this
Yeah,
point.
to be honest,
Hmm.
compared to how I play, I was playing more pussy in game three than
Game 2 and
how
1. 1 2 you were
yeah.
super aggressive. 1 2 you guys just went
No,
off crazy, right?
even game two I was playing horny, but game three, I mean it's Lee Sin. My Zinzao counters Lee Sin, but you never know if targeting fuck ups happen again and Lee Sin gets sad, then Zinzao is his bitch, right?
Hmm.
So didn't want to risk it. Traded scuttles, killed my boy Foxy. Like last two games, we know the condition. So I told him 1 week before in party games only, bro. I'm coming to your lane. Deal with it. But yeah, I mean, shout out to Foxy, man. He had some great impact in the game. So,
Absolutely.
so
Stark,
I
you have any
mean,
questions for Crowley also?
why Stark here, bro? I was told there is some sexy guy from Romania or something casting.
There was, but
Why is Stark
he's
here, bro?
he was
I'm
there
just
for 2
joking.
games.
I'm just joking, Stark. I love you.
Stark,
You know
any
that.
questions? Stark, any
Yep,
questions
yep.
for
So, Crowley, do you have extra trigger button on your phone for Smite? Please tell me. Secret.
Oh, that was some GTA shit right there, right? Like it crossed like half a bridge or something over there. Yeah.
crazy,
I
crazy?
mean, it was just too good. And what is your, I mean, Blizzard, was the comp picked around TF Zinza, or was it picked around, it was just like,
Oh,
we're going to play this in.
I don't know how it goes in other teams, but either it starts like I'll do it in Hindi, okay? So it's like
Mhm.
देखो तुम दोनों अपना हीरो ले लो this goes the call to the dragon lane उसके बाद I see my hero उसके बाद I see if Lee Sin is open if I lose one game with Lee Sin I never pick it again if I'm winning with Lee Sin I'll pick it again it's like that so उसके बाद I'm like fuck it I'll just play tank I went J4 I was thinking why
That was such an
but
unexpected pick. I have to say, I was not expecting you to play J4. I was like, wait,
I,
what?
I told I was playing a party with iDoctor and I'm like, bro, queue fast. The tournament hero, I need to practice because in pub games I just play Evelyn, Fizz and all
Yeah.
this trash solo queue heroes, right? तो मैं बोला थोड़ा फ्लैग का प्रैक्टिस कर लेते हैं वरना लगेगा नहीं मैच में तो ठीक है अच्छा हुआ फ्लैग का प्रैक्टिस नॉट बैड
Yeah, early game though was insane amount of aggression coming out of this
I'm
flag.
actually very impressed by their Dragon Lane. They're good.
Absolutely. I think as a team, right, they're definitely
Hmm.
showing why they were able to match you better than most teams have in the tournament. I think this is the closest that you've had in the series so far. And coming down to the playoff stage now, like, are you still confident that you can beat any team in the Conquerors League? Anti
Uh,
RR might be the one qualifying. BOH are definitely qualified. It's the fourth team will be either TGT, CDC, or LevelUp. But what do you think of these teams? And what do you think of your team in contrast to these teams?
I think every team is more or less good enough to take games of each other right now. If we don't fuck up, I think the game should be smooth. Like it won't be like one-sided storm, but it'll be winnable. Like it'll be a win, regardless of how the early game turns out to be. If
Hmm.
we end up fucking up, so yeah, some quickies might happen here and there, but hopefully it's BO5, I guess. So BO5 and a
Sub BO5 है. One more
so
another
can't
question,
give
like,
can't
what
give
who
reasons when you lose in a
hmm.
BO5. So take it.
True. So I think you're finally admitting that the teams are good enough to match you at least and beat you, but again it comes down to pressure, best of 5, and how much you
True,
adapt, right?
matlab, it's kind of hard for us to like scrim versus better teams and all. Like 2 months
Hmm.
ago, if you would see our game, we were clearly the favorites and we were like one-sided owning every game, right? But
Mm-hmm.
now we don't have opponents to practice. Even I won't take names, but we take scrims versus some Indian teams. They don't want to play us because they don't want to lose confidence and whatnot. And versus C team, like Swifty has very bad internet connection, and sometimes if the team isn't from Singapore or something, we can't scrim. So there's this fuck up of not having opponents. So our only practice is pub games.
Got it.
That also I throw if people are playing pussy. So it's more or less a halt in the practice, to be honest. I don't know if Hawk practice or not. I think they also just play pubs and have similar fuck ups
Yeah,
like
it's a
us.
similar focus. So,
Hmm.
the question I have to ask, like in today's series, right? Like, if
Hmm.
you had to give an MVP award to any member of your team, apart from you, that you think like this guy, I think today really played supremely well, and who would it be in your team for this series?
Series or game to game?
Give me game to game, and then give me series also. Give me 1, 2, and 3, and then give me overall who you think is the best.
I think everyone fucked up in the team for game one.
Mhm.
Game two, I would give it to Blizzard. Game three, I would give it to Swifty.
Game 2 was the Gragas game, and game 3 was the Riven game. So in the Riven
Yeah,
game, I'm gonna give it to Swifty.
Swifty. And the game two, I'll give it to Lucian.
To the Lucian. Got it. And
Hmm.
overall, if you had to pick Swifty or Lucian, Swifty or Blizzard, probably. I
Overall,
think. Hmm.
overall, तो it has to be me. Game three होता ही नहीं था, bro. Smite ने दबता था तो फिर.
Yeah, I guess you have it, right? I think you all
Yeah.
have anyways praised the bot lane of BOH, so we definitely know if you had to pick anyone from their team, it would probably be their bot lane. I think they played really well. And I think like at this point, the player skill caliber is very close because all of these team fights were close. It's eventually about clutch factor, right? Like
True.
at this level, like you would agree that it comes down to who's more clutch. And I think like you definitely had that clutch factor, right? And I think this series will, at least in my opinion, Stark, you would also probably agree that this would go down as one of the best BO3. That's one of the best Wild Rift series we've seen in India for the longest time.
I mean, yeah,
I
it
think
was
it's
like
definitely the
fun to play also. Like, it's like we knew that if we fuck up, we can lose, right? We didn't get that feeling before. So Hawk is like really strong. I mean, they had this Garen thing going on in 2021, bro. I had to ban Garen. I was like,
Yeah,
fuck.
they do. So Stark, you as well, right? Like your thoughts on this, like because you've seen so many matches all across from TGT days to EX days to Revel days, right? You've seen so many matches all across the scene, right? Like where do you put this best of three series in contrast to anything else that you've seen?
it was the best BO3 India has ever seen. I'm just going to let that out. No facts, come and debate me. It was just too good. Like the throws have been there. The throws were fun to watch, but then in the end, it was just the level of fighting was like the China Super Server fights on PC. The
That's
level
what
that
tells
they
you.
play.
That's what they tell you, right? Why the throw happens is because the teams are playing under some sort of pressure,
Stress.
right?
Yeah,
That's why
stress.
because they know that good teams are playing fast, right? One can fuck up anytime. So
Hmm.
in that playing fast, the ones who are not used to playing fast, they will fuck up.
Exactly.
As the wise guy always once said, if you hit creeps, you won't win wild rift. That wise guy is me, by the way.
Well, I guess there you have it, guys. Thanks a lot, Crowley, for joining us today, and congratulations on winning. And as well, the league isn't over, the circuit isn't over. You are in definitively first place. You will get to pick between third and fourth. Some of the matches still left to determine who's third and who's fourth, but you will be there. Best of 5 season happening, right? So all the best for the future games as well. And crazy game today. Super fun.
Thank
Thanks a
you.
lot for joining us.
Chalo. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, Malik.
We'll have Stark back on the screen because no real estate apparently. But Stark, just closing thoughts on this best of 3 series. Like in terms of power levels, we always asked, right? The circuit started 2 months ago, and we were all thinking, oh, AOT, BOH, AOT, BOH, and honestly, this is the two teams. These were the two teams that we would be like, hey, इनमें से यही दो में से कोई है, right? But now, we found an answer somewhat, right? A very closely fought answer, but it does look like AOT is the team to beat.
Exactly. The Titans have held their walls. They're still not defeated. I mean, it was a clutch game. I was going for BOH after the first game, and then it was TG. I mean AOT, and then it's just they held their ground. This is actually, this I have noticed with AOT. They do it in all of their games. They somehow, lull the enemy team into, either they give the game close first game or they leave it. When they play scrims also, I've seen this. Now they're doing it even tournament to give the enemy team a false sense of security, and then level 2 and game 2 and 3 they just step it up so much. I mean, yeah, it's just the observation, but it's obviously not every time they do this. But it was just too good. I'm just extremely happy to see AOT still unbeaten, and I mean, props to BOH. They played amazingly.
Yes.
Everybody, I don't see any skill gap. It was like if you switch players this side or that side, I don't think anything would have mattered. I think it's just the communication gap which they have, or somewhere
dealing
some
under pressure, I
small
would
thing.
say.
Yeah,
Dealing
yeah.
with pressure.
Exactly. I think the pressure thing is obviously more. It needs to be improved. I think that's all. I think
Yeah,
it was
I
just too good.
completely agree, guys. Like we've hit 400 likes, guys. If anyone of you have enjoyed this specialty series, make sure you guys like the stream, subscribe to the channel, congratulate our sponsors. NotiKINGz, Esports Hub, and TGT Esports. Without these three sponsors, this tournament could not have been possible. So many thanks to you guys for being there. Many thanks to Level Up for bringing us the insane production value that you're seeing. And for Hell's Level as well for having him on board. Thank you so much. And I think Stark, there are a lot few more competitive matches to go for Conquerors, but I'm excited for playoffs because I feel like in the playoffs with best of fives, right, we're gonna see some really really fun matches, and we might be again titled to see a BOH versus AOT final. We don't know, but could potentially happen. So the game is not yet over. The circuit is not yet over, guys. We're just getting started. The spicy end of the tournament is about to begin, but for now, I would like to give you guys a big thank you for tuning in. We hope you had fun. I had a blast casting these games. So did Stocks. I'm sure Hellsever himself said he had a lot of fun as well. Thank you so much for supporting the Wild Rift scene in India as well. We had a great time. Until the next time, with more amazing games coming your way, make sure you are tuned in to the Wild Rift India circuit because this is just getting started. We will see you guys next time. Till then, take care and have a good night. Bye bye.
Thank you to all the people who did your super chats. Also, I mean,
Yes,
chat was just
Angry and
amazing.
everybody else who done that. Agreed. Thank you so much
Exactly, exactly.
for
Thank you,
the
everybody.
monetary support, Jetalal, Cathode. I know I missed more people, but thank you so much for your
Exactly.
super chats as well. All right,
Thank you,
guys,
guys.
take care. And Groot
You.
as well for the last
Oh,
final super chat, last minute super chat coming out right here. Thank you so
exactly.
much. And super, super awesome job, guys. And we will see you guys next time you guys are watching the Wild Rift India circuit.
Bye bye. See you.